Well, howdy, partners. Welcome on back to the trading post. I won't keep you too long. I know we got lots of action ready. There's giant spider beasts afoot. Let's go kill them.
Hello and welcome to Deadlands Poison Paradise Episode 3. Oh, let's get this done quick. The people beside me in the order that they're beside me. First, we've got Noctum Sky playing the fine and wonderful Jet. Next to her, we have the wonderful Hannah playing the wonderful Ellie. I detect a theme here. And then the wonderful Lessamax playing the wonderful Lucius. And just to make it different because she's on her different row, the magnificent Sarah playing the even more magnificent Alice.
Magnificent is an understatement.
Last time our finely dressed and finely honed killing machines took the field, they did so against at first unknown enemies, and after some tracking they fought some, well, they used to be people until they got bugs in them and turned into people being warned by bugs, and you killed all them off and just heartlessly blew them away as though they hadn't been people less than 12 hours before. It's all fine. And then you had tracked the mother lode, quite literally, of these insectoid zombies to a cave in a wall in a cliff. At that point, some of you had taken a little bit of damage. The wounds don't go away, but those of you with wind, you take sort of 5 minutes, 10 minutes to gather yourselves, and that goes back to its full power. We're going to switch you over here to this map. First thing you're going to notice, this map is almost black now. I did that because you're about to go into the cave, and in the cave, lighting is very limited, so you guys can see yourselves. I put a torch right in the middle, and Jet, you are carrying your lantern. You guys can see that?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Again, it is daylight outside, but just because of the way the mechanics in this game work, our camera, who is filming all of this, can see everything, so it makes no sense to the viewers what I just said. But these guys can only see about 10 feet because they've got a torch and a lantern that does shine a little bit further than that. About 10 yards. A lantern that does shine further than that, but only in an arc of 90 degrees. So, you guys gather yourselves. Look around this clearing, all these mangled bodies and spider legs and green slime melting into the snow. You hear it
shivers every time.
Inside the tunnel.
Ooh. All right, well.
What would you like to do?
I want to reload my shotgun first of all. Which
I'd like to heal my wound, but if it's going to take too long, maybe I'll do that later.
Yeah, remember also you can only heal each location once per day.
Right.
So if you heal it now and it gets wounded again, you can't heal it till tomorrow.
That's a good point.
It's just a mechanical point in this system, so I mentioned that.
Oh, were we supposed to drop our chips? Out of curiosity?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. You guys draw 3 chips each for the last adventure. And this time, just put them on your character sheet. There's a place right on the first page that has all the different chips. Putting them on the screen, they don't move from map to map, and it got all frustrating and annoying. So, yeah, just draw them, put them on your sheet, and let me know when you've done that, and I'll recall them all.
So you open your character sheet and you draw them from there?
No, just draw them from the pile like you did last time.
Oh, okay.
And then when you open up your character sheet on that first, I think it's on the first page.
Yeah, it's on the core page.
Yeah, exactly. Right underneath your the core page, right underneath your pace, size, maximum wind, and grit, there's your fate chips.
Okay.
And you can keep track of them there.
Mine are good, so you should look at them before you clear them.
mine's good too.
I'm pretty happy with my chips too.
I won't look at it till between weeks, and then I'll do my best to forget them. I don't want to know your characters. I really don't. I build the world, you build the characters, and we smash them together and see what happens.
What the hell?
So let me know when you've got them all tracked.
What the heck? That's a lot, Sarah. I mean, Alice. I forgot we can look at each other's chests.
Wait, we
I thought mine were good.
Yeah, that's the same thing I got last time.
One of the things that you guys will very rapidly learn about this game is this is not going to be a 2-year campaign. You guys are going to be gods amongst men and women in like 6 months, and we'll have to start something else.
I was like, man,
Something happens in Texas and you're in California. I shoot it. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you
Well,
roll?
it's-
112. Okay.
I guess it's dead now.
The round goes into space and plummets back to Earth, killing the target 700 miles away.
I mean, hey, we
Anyway,
can-
everybody got their chips?
Space Cowboys, I'm just saying.
I've got mine.
yeah, I should. I just.
I'm all good.
They're all gone. So, you guys step over the carcasses and step forward towards this cave. I've given you 2 torches, assuming that you would light them. One of them is on top of Lucius. The other one is right in the middle for whoever wants it. Plus, like I said, Jet, if you can't see your character, that's because you're underneath the lantern.
Well, I have a lantern, so maybe I'm using mine.
I can't
Okay.
move the
In
lantern.
that case, I will get rid of that, and I will bring you a lantern. There you go, and you can turn that lantern
Taking
by
that.
grabbing the little tab and
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, whoa is right.
I still can't move
that's
my
fun.
lantern.
can't move the lantern. Oh,
Nope.
okay. Hang
I
on,
cannot.
I can fix.
Yeah.
Jet's just running around in circles here.
I'm just like, oh God, where's my lantern? I dropped it. You know what'll fix this? If I measure everything.
That fixes everything.
Yep.
Hang on.
Huh.
Where's the
How
lantern?
come it's
Really
not
missing
moving?
that. I'm
Oh,
really
is that okay? So this is
so
my
bad as
lantern.
dark
Oh
vision right
no!
now, I'll be honest.
Hang on. I'll put the lantern back. Hang on. Oh dear. I'm supposed to be more professional than this. Oh.
What's that mean?
Aha! It's not
Lights
me.
are hard.
Ha! It's not me. It is, in fact, roll 20 is screwed up, not me. So I'm going to put them out here. You tell me where you want them, and I will move them.
I
Am I under
can't.
a torch
Okay,
now?
well, I can move mine, so.
You can move the torches. That shouldn't be a problem.
Oh God, I warped into another room there for a second.
Into the
All right,
abyss.
so at this point, we are not in combat, so you guys can go in whatever order you like.
Oh.
I mean, I've got the lantern and I'm me, so presumably I'm gonna take the lead on this. Looking at the others, be like, I'll go first. I
Yeah,
got my.
Alice is clearly not going first.
Would
Got
you
my-
like?
Where am I?
Do you have a lantern?
I do has lantern.
I made an LE disappear.
Oh no!
I am a ghost.
The darkness has swallowed her up.
I spontaneously combust. There I am.
Oh, you're back. Never happened. You're never going.
Yay! I just left you guys. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
running
all the
around in
technical crap
circles.
out of the way.
It's dark in here. Are you crazy?
You said you were going first?
Yeah, I'll go first with my
All right, here
lantern.
comes the lantern with you.
I guess I will follow next with my.
Just how far in are you going to move, Jet?
I mean, essentially it's one of those things where I'm hitting a pace until I actually see something that this opens up.
How do I turn this?
And then I'm assuming you turn it like that.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
can.
that's cool.
I'm gonna step around the corner, try to
Actually,
get
turn
this
it some
around.
more if you want, like that.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. And is there anything weird in here?
What you see in here is this is an absolutely natural cave. This is rough top and bottom and sides. This is just like a crack in the rock that's opened up. It doesn't look like a mine. It doesn't look like anything like that. It looks like a completely natural phenomenon. And it is just full of not really stalagmites and stalactites, but more cracks and fissures and ridges everywhere. The floor is not smooth. The walls kind of come in places. Overall, it's only sort of 10 to 15, or sorry, 2 to 3 yards wide. and it's no more than 3 yards high at any point.
Whew.
You shine the light in and look around. Go ahead and give me a scrutinize.
Oh boy. Let's see. And just remind me, if you have a wound, that only affects combat rolls, right?
Nope, that affects everything.
Oof.
Minus
So
one
yeah,
to
this will
every
be at a
test.
-1. Traits and attributes, scrutinize, which already is probably got nothing in it.
Where is my wound? Oh, I don't
There
think
it
I.
is. Yeah, I don't have any points in that. So one, I always forget this. It's -2 then?
-4. Roll one of
Oof.
your trait dice for that trait and -4.
Okay.
I like
So-
what you tried to do there.
Clever.
All
Subtle.
right. So 1d6 -4 -1 on top of that, so -5.
Yep.
All right.
Did you say 1d6 -5?
Yep.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, you are. You heard this thing. Somebody told you that if you hold the lantern right beside your eye and look into the darkness, you can see bugs. And you tried that, and all you did was shine the lantern in your eye, and you can't see anything.
Oops.
Fair enough.
Oopsie daisy.
Who's going in next?
I guess I'll
I'm-
follow.
I'm
On
behind-
On that note,
Fight to
Kevin,
go next.
I'll go next.
I'm already there, so. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Did you take your torch with you, Alice?
Yeah, people keep moving it though.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was
Okay.
my lantern because I can't move my lantern for some reason.
Yep. Just when we move you, I'll move your lantern.
Okay.
Right
On
now, I'll
that
put it right
note,
behind you there.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I was looking at my wounds because I couldn't remember which one I got hit, and I apparently it's not in there. I don't know why. So
Okay, if you don't have, yeah, I don't. You didn't take any wounds last time, just wind, I think.
just went. I thought I took a wound from a spider. Okay, well,
I mean, if you really want one, you can have one, but.
I don't want one, but I'm just trying to be honest, okay? So-
Yeah, I
Give
thank
you a
you.
wound.
Appreciate
Like
that. Yeah, if you honestly think you had one, put one in there. I don't think you
I
did.
just don't remember where it was. It's just okay. Well, maybe I misheard you.
Left arm.
Okay, left arm it is.
Doesn't really matter where it was. It's what your worst one is, right?
Yeah. Okay. There.
So Alice, you step in, torchlight kind of sparking in there. You
Yep.
look at Jet. He's got one eye squinted shut because he's holding the lantern wrong. The light is creating crazy shadows as he moves it and you move the torch. It's just all these little shattered rock faces reflecting light, and
Can I scrutinize?
you can certainly scrutinize all you like.
Please.
Okay, and you have scrutinized as a skill.
Yep.
Okay, so that's an 8. Yeah, you look at you in this light. It's too hard to tell. It's just between the torch and the lantern, the flickering, and these little like almost like little miniature walls of rock. You can't see anything.
Oh, even with an 8? Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
The two of you don't hear anything either.
Like nothing.
No, nothing.
Lucius.
The two of them went in ahead of you.
Don't like that.
I'm
I
gonna
will
stick with
follow
Lucius.
behind.
He has a light.
Okay, you want a torch, Ellie?
I think I have a lantern.
You have a lantern? Okay.
Yeah.
I will move all the lanterns, and then I will fix the thing once I'm allowed. There we go. You can have that lantern.
Behind Jet or something.
So
Oh
you
wait,
can
that's a
go
wall.
Lantern.
I can't.
We're
see.
definitely not behind Jen.
I
Here,
can't get
Jet,
behind.
Jet will step up a little bit so you don't have to be.
Hey, buddy.
I can feel the measuring tape on my neck.
Okay, well, since we're gonna canon, I'm gonna do that and use the sleight of hand. See if you notice. Okay, give me a second.
Lord have mercy.
I was just gonna say.
And Ellie, you said you're moving it, so go right ahead and move in there, and I will move the lantern with you. Oops, let's turn the lantern so it points that way.
This is so
I don't like those sounds,
so
Kevin.
scary not being able to.
That's sorry. That's I know it sounds exactly the same as spider sounds, but that was actually lantern moving sounds. I should have explained that those two sounds exactly the same.
Can
My
you
lanterns are spiders.
can you design us a spider, a lantern with spider legs that just walks around?
No.
You got tinkerers in your party.
I might do that.
That is
That'd
absolutely
be
Good ideas.
great.
Okay, so that's 13, or like with light wounds. So is that a minus what?
That's -1, so that's a 12. Yeah.
Do you notice?
Go ahead and roll me a. What would you counter sleight of hand with? Streetwise. I'm assuming it'd be like the same as making sure somebody wasn't picking your pocket.
Listen, all due respect, I think this is just mean at this point because it ain't happening. It's 1d6 minus 5 again. So let's
You
do
could roll
it.
a 92. You know, it's.
Hey,
So
Actually,
jump
roll
one.
again because that's a 6. So we add.
Oh,
that
that's
didn't
right.
explode. You could have rolled keep 1.
Oh.
That's 12. Going.
Look
Matches?
at him.
So it's-
17 minus 5. That's 12.
Matches.
no.
That's still.
But then that was so good.
So you probably
I
just
know.
see it in the corner of your eye as like my
You don't-
my tape
You
just
don't
disappears.
feel anything, but you hear 37.5.
I'd like to think I just know at this point.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
even a.
Anyway, Lord of mercy. Okay.
That's thematic with you. On Monday nights, you have to worry about when Guy's behind you, and on Tuesday nights, you have to worry about whether Lucius is behind you.
All right. Well, I mean, I think they're
What a
always
roll,
gonna.
though. Holy crap. 17 on a D6.
What a
That's
great
crazy.
time to use that too.
All three of you
We're
are
gonna
in
do
there,
a
and
roll
you
to
have
save
not
your
yet
life and
made a
totally
scrutinized
fail.
check may now do so.
Oh yeah.
Okay, scrutinize check.
But this is one of those situations where more light is not necessarily better. There are now 4 flickering
Apparently not.
light sources in this small cave. Yeah, that didn't go well.
I have no idea.
Nope, you guys cannot see anything moving whatsoever.
Alice will be like,
You get a general
"Why
idea
are
now
you
that all the
looking at
torches
wall,
and lights in
girl?"
here, you can see the shape of this tunnel.
Yeah, Alice will be like, Ellie, why are you looking at the wall? What are you doing?
I thought I saw something shiny.
Oh Lord.
I
Bless
don't
her heart.
You guys, you've all had a really good look now, and maybe that thing's not in here.
Could I roll a survival to try to see if we can
On what?
trying to track it? I guess that'd be tracking, but
You already looked for it. There's no real way to. I mean, you could look for tracks, I guess.
yeah. Do I have tracking?
I was gonna say if not, I'm pushing forward. Cause don't lie to me, Marshall Kevin. Might not be in here.
Wow, that was lucky.
Oh wow.
I think
Think
some
he was expert
explosions
tracker.
Right
happened.
inside the door.
Wow. I don't.
Yep. Right inside the door, you're looking around, and there is still snow outside. So, right inside the door, there's a row of like a couple wet spots on the floor, like where its feet had snow on it, and then when it ran in, you can see it. That goes up the wall.
Ha! I'm just gonna. Oh look, up there. It seemed to climbed on the wall.
See, Alice, that's why I was looking at the wall.
That's a completely different wall, darling.
I
It's the same in
At
here.
this point, folks, I think we should just watch our heads.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I think all walls are fair game at this point. In fact, we might want to get all back to back.
Like do like a
It's like the
Move as a unit.
The three of you are at the northern end of this tunnel, and Alice is just walking down the tunnel.
yeah. She went forward a little bit.
And
I
Oh,
will
wow.
also go a little forward.
Yeah, I would have kept pace because Mama didn't raise no fool.
Just be right beside you, Jet.
turn that way. There we go.
Yeah. It looks canonically like the torch is Alice is, moving the torch before her, but
So you guys start to just work your way down shoulder to shoulder to shoulder like this. It's really, really tight. But you
Like,
guys
I
continue
get
to squeeze your way forwards. And
one of you is suddenly not there anymore.
Darkness.
You hear a muffled scream.
Actually, what you hear is as there's the tiniest little click as feet withdraw from the rock, and dropping directly on Jet's head is the adult Husker.
Okay.
It's going to get a surprise round. Then we're going to roll initiative.
That's
Yay.
not cool, Marshall Kevin.
In my only defense, I didn't actually write this bit. This is actually from the module. So you can blame the fine folks. No, don't blame them. They're wonderful people. The fine folks at Pinnacle thought that this is exactly what you need to have happen to you right now.
Thanks, Pam.
A random encounter.
Drops down on top of you. attempts to-
No, but for real, thanks Pinnacle, because we have the music. So
Yeah, we have some wonderful stuff
have,
from
like,
Pinnacle. The
legit
art, the
Pinnacle
music.
music.
It's awesome, which is why they are awesome people. And if they think now is a good time to have a spider drop on your head, then damn it, it's a good time to have a spider drop on your head.
and technically it dropped on Jet's head, so really it's somebody else's problem. You know.
That's exactly.
I'm still gonna
I
be
have his measurements.
comically salty about it. So thanks, Pinnacle. I really appreciate it.
Don't worry, I will make the finest coffin for
You
you.
hear that, and you look up just in time to see. First of all, there's a blob of green stuff coming out from between its mandibles, spraying towards your face. It is a cold shot towards your head, so nope, that definitely did.
Wow.
Oh, that didn't roll properly. That rolled
God.
zero.
Oh no, don't
How's
say
that
that.
possible?
Yeah.
I'm wearing a hat.
The hat protected you.
I don't think so.
That does hit you with one bonus.
Can I just say, like, with my bit of tracking, could that give us a slight advantage? Could have? I don't know.
It was, you didn't see it. You just saw where it went.
Right. Well, I did warn you to watch your head, so.
So 7 points, 1 wound to the upper guts,
Ooh.
All right.
and 1d6 wind. 2 wind.
All right. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Trying to scroll down to quickness.
Is there any now? I don't want to take away from initiative or anything, but there's no chance I get any kind of reaction to that.
That was the surprise round. We're now going to roll quickness and generate our initiatives.
Gotcha.
Just for the purpose of this, I'm going to move it there so it's not under your token. Put you out.
Oh, it's a Spidey.
Is it still on top of me though?
Yes, it is. I just moved it away from you so we can know where it is on the map without you having to be, so we haven't got a whole bunch of stacked.
Listen, fate gods, I just need to get it off of me before Lucius's turn. That's all I need. Just don't let him go while it's still on my face.
Because you
So-
probably see me with the shovel getting ready to swing,
Yep. So Sarah gets 1 die, Lucius gets 1 die. The other ones I need quickness rolls from, please.
I got it. I don't know what I got. 1.
Oh, man.
Wow, I actually got the highest.
No.
Oh, never mind.
No.
We all get the
That's
same.
me, but it's still the
To
same.
be fair, this is the highest I've ever rolled. Or quickness, because my quickness, what is it at? It's
All right. So actually, this is easy. Everybody gets 1 card.
Yep.
Ooh, I got.
And I can actually click on it this time.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, it's
you can.
great.
What did I get?
ready.
Oh, it freaked me out for a second that yours was red. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
ah.
got the red card.
This is how this is supposed to work. I spent the entire last 2 episodes drawing from your deck with you guys. So
No. It alters. It makes the chance.
it does because we're all drawing from 1. Yeah.
What the hell's the word?
This way, there's 1 person drawing from 1 deck.
Probability.
I got less chances of drawing.
There you go.
I have a degree in math, and I couldn't think of the word probability, so I don't know what that.
Words are hard, man.
I have a degree in English and philosophy, so I
Ooh.
win. Mine's way more useless.
Mine's actually useful. I just don't use it.
I'm an art school dropout.
You know what school is?
That's still 3 steps better than the hillbillies that are what you guys thought was security forces to take the helpless people through the wild wilderness and into paradise. We'll leave that for the moment.
Oh.
Aces. Kings.
That's me.
Oh, yep. What do you got?
How do I draw a king of spades?
Just draw it out on the table, and it will go face up, and I'll take it over to the discard pile.
I drew it out onto the table, and now it's gone.
In the
Okay.
darkness.
Is it in the
That's all that
darkness?
matters. It doesn't matter. I trust you.
Oh, it's in the dark. That's why. Okay. So,
Okay. Yes.
I did that once too. It's like, where'd it go?
okay. So what do I? This is on me, and I had my lantern, but I also have. What I've been carrying my shotgun and a lantern. We did go in this cave, so I'd say I at least had my hand on it. But can I use a shotgun with a lantern?
This is a fantasy role-playing game. You may drop the lantern, which will land on the floor, tilting slightly upwards, illuminating the portion of the room that it already was, leaving both of your hands free to use your shotgun.
Will it break the lantern?
Not unless you insist.
No, okay, that's fine. I dropped that lantern. They are sturdy, apparently. And
I can be a nasty DM, but I do not actively want to kill you.
The entire room sets fire and we all die.
Yep.
yeah,
You guys have
well,
heard of carbon monoxide poisoning, right?
Ooh.
this is also not the best anyway, but I'm gonna do it because it seems right. So I pull out my shotgun, and
And it's on you like this.
is it too long? Can I like?
You try to hit
You
it.
could sure try.
No,
will
Jed,
be
don't
more
do it.
difficult than a regular shot. It is not going to be the same as casually shooting one from across the room.
How big is it again?
Oh, am I gonna go
The
deaf?
torso is basically human-sized.
Okay.
And if you think of instead of 4 arms, it's got 8 legs.
Okay.
You try to like
Basically
bat
like
it off you.
I'm trying to shoot it. I mean, I'm shooting straight up, so I certainly won't hit any of you, but I might be deaf after this.
I think a lot of us might be deaf after this.
Yeah,
This room
I'm
is like-
right next to you.
This room is
I'm right behind you.
across and 9 feet high and 30 feet long. This is going to be horrible.
So I'm gonna do it anyway because it feels
Like I
right.
said, this is going to be a challenge because you got to get the barrel up between you and it, not blow your own face off, and try and fire into it. So go ahead and give me a shooting roll.
Oh
Oh,
god.
It'll be the typical hard difficulty of 5. It will be higher.
Of course. So
There's no
shotgun
digit.
shooting. I should have.
But a
done-
21, that's sort of fairly good. So yeah, that definitely
That's-
there is an earth-shattering kaboom. There is a flash of white and red and yellow light that makes the lanterns pale in comparison for just a split second as a fireball about 3 feet across just starts right at the top of his head and goes poof up to the roof, and you wonder, why did it make that sound? And then you hear
Oh no.
as parts of this thing go off. Roll me 6d6 damage, please.
All right.
You got it
Even.
at 0 range.
Is that,
Six.
that,
Oh,
does that keep all?
I think I just roll it with the weapon. There's a
Oh, yeah.
for that.
Oh yes, with as long as you're at 0 range, yes, you can roll the shotgun that way. But remember, the range damage drops with range on a shotgun, but this is at 0 range. So yeah, go ahead and roll the full 66.
Oof. That was wrong. There we go.
Oof is right. That is 4 wounds to the gizzards. Go. Okay, so yeah, there's, and like I said, stuff is hitting the ceiling and dribbling down onto all of you. It's raining spider guts, but somehow you look over and your heads are ringing and pounding. Your eyes are almost blacked out from the smoke and the flame and the brightness. The lanterns are still lit, but you look up and somehow the legs are still going, trying to climb. It appears to climb over him. Doesn't seem to be going at him.
Like it's trying to get out?
It's trying to get out. Yeah. Jet, would you like to try and move?
I don't think
There's
I
no
should
such
be
thing as- and I'll
allowed.
tell you, there's no such thing as reactions in this game. Well, there kind of is if you attack, but not when you run away. It's not, you can't, there's no attacks of opportunity to use somebody else's phrasing.
I If I get movement, I'm going to say what happened was I did that. I fell on my ass and I am on my back. And then I will use my movement if I have any just to get back up because I don't deserve any more movement than that. Even that is gracious.
And then what's left below, for a second, you guys have to think, oh shit, he blew his head off. Because the body just drops to the ground and it stands back up, and then you see the legs go as they try and grab purchase on him again. Queens. Jacks. Tens.
Yep.
So drag it over into the cave where we can see it. That way I can make it go away.
There it is.
Ah.
All right. I have my gun, so I will shoot at it.
Absolutely. It's again slightly more difficult than regular shot because you're trying not to shoot this fine young gentleman that you just met yesterday.
If I blow your head off and you manage to miss your head, sorry, man.
That does not.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that is absolutely categorically a hit. And this would be a good time. It hasn't really made a difference up till now, but for each addition, you know how it is. If typically if the difficulty is a 5, for every extra 5, you get a extra success essentially. The way that you use that when you're shooting with your shooting skill is it allows you to move it that many points on the body. When you roll to hit. So say you rolled now to hit and got it in the guts, but you had, in this case, 2 successes, you'd be able to move it 2 points, and that might be enough to get it to move over to the gizzards, which are already hurt, which would allow you to stack those wounds up.
Okay,
So 19 is absolutely a hit. You were, because it was, like I said, because it was on his head, it was actually a 9 to hit, but that's still that plus 2 successes. So you'll be able to move the roll by 2. So go ahead and roll damage with, well, look exactly what happened. Look how that works. Oh, it's like we planned it. 11 does 2 wounds. Actually, no, sorry, it's got a size of 6. It does 1 wound, which happened to be exactly what it had left in the upper guts, which you can move using your 2 successes to the gizzards.
Sweet.
So, with that, it sort of jumps up off of his shoulders. Just as it does, you fire another round, and it completely severs the thorax from the front of the body. So from like right here forward, just the front 2 legs keep skittering towards the door for just a second, and the little head drops. Some of that green ooze comes out and starts to run down the rocks, and the rocks themselves start to sizzle a little bit.
Just blow my gun.
From there, back slowly slides down, jet, and onto the floor at his feet. That was quick.
Well, shit.
Especially considering that monster had no wind. You couldn't knock it out using wind.
I turn to Ellie and I'm just like, I'm glad I got you on my team.
And you are yelling because everything is just wang, wang, wang here with the gunshot and the shotgun. And
I'm going to have tinnitus.
We're out of combat now, right?
yes, we are now out of combat.
Well, I think you know what's coming next, clearly, from Alex.
You start setting up.
Sama just hit the button.
Yep. Yeah, and it's gonna be difficult because it's dark in here, and you're trying to set up the lanterns and the torch and get your camera. It's hard to get the tripod set up because there's no kind of flat place to put it. But eventually, you get a decent shot. You're probably gonna have to do a little creative editing, but it's a good shot, at least good.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly does this frame this out for me? What exactly do you take a picture of?
What I'm trying to get, Alice would move kind of. I'm just gonna move the torch. Kind of here.
Okay.
Try to get Jet just covered in the goo with the body of the thing behind him.
Shotgun sort of hanging from one hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the trail of slime down the front of him, right across his face. And
yeah.
Little bit of powder burn on his chin from where he fired the shotgun.
And it based on where I moved the torch.
Sort of shell shock look in his face, like when you can't hear anything, your eyes get big.
I would try to get
Ellie in the background.
Oh my gun.
Yeah.
I'd like. I'm just like poking at its eyes, by the way, just so I don't know if you want me. To...
Is it dead?
Remember, yeah, the eyes are clusters of little black worms.
Oh, it's a little. I thought
All right now,
little black worms.
thousands of
Really?
red little worms. Yeah.
Please burn it.
Lovely.
Let's
Oh
burn it.
no! She said. Remember what she said? That they can see in the dark. I wanted to research its eyes. Can I take its eyes?
Give me a medicine roll to see if you can get them out in one piece.
I'm gonna need you to not, because the last person that fooled around with that got blown in half by our entire team. Because if I see him doing this, there's gotta be some questions.
Questionable behavior, much like having an undead hand for a pet.
Yeah, well, this is Jet.
Quick reference
so-
to our Monday night game there that everybody should go and watch as well. Too Many Warlocks game.
His voice, Skylar, your voice is saying, "I have questions." It's just imbued in my brain, like it'll never go away.
That's me. Put it on my
Yeah,
headstone.
give me that medicine check. Anybody else? What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna go up to Jet and just check him over to see if he's okay after having that thing on his
he has
face.
taken no wounds, but like he said, he's still kind of.
Well, I'll grab my handkerchief and kind of like wipe off the scorch marks on his.
The worst of it, the chin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
15 minus 1.
am. So the thing that I grabbed from my suitcase that nobody saw.
Yep.
Was a small a painting kit.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Little mini
Alice is gonna do like a cave painting on the wall,
On the wall.
of
Okay.
the warriors that defeated this great monster.
The giant spider with stuff sticking out of blood holes in it, and all of you guys enormously large compared to it to show how powerful you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rock painting. It's an incredible high quality rock painting. And you could pretend that perhaps the places that you slipped were to make it look more prehistoric.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a good fake rock art. Well, once it dries, it will be.
Yeah. I had to.
You get Lucius. You get one eye cluster out, more or less intact. On the back of it, instead of a single nerve like there would be on any animal that we know, there's like 100 nerves that sort of go down to 50, that go down to 25, that go down to 10, that go down to 5 in this cluster. And eventually it turns into one like this big around that heads back into where the brain was. For that second eye, it pops, and some of that green stuff squirts out on the back of your hand and starts to burn. So you can wipe it off. But yeah, you've ruined the second eye. But you got one. One
I got
husker.
one. Using my tools of trade, I'll just store it in a little jar.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, one husker eye.
And I've just been cleaned up a little bit.
Yep.
While I was laying there recovering, I had a picture taken of me to see the same person go paint on the wall while another guy goes and digs a spider eye out.
Yep.
And I stand up, I dust myself off, I pick up my lantern. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And I just walk further down into the cave because get this lantern out of here. I'm taking my lantern because I need to make sure there's nothing else in this cave, as is my duty. Is this a corner, or is this like a corner around, or is this
That's an end. That's the end of it right there. It just comes to that this crack in the rock where it looks like it just separated like that. That's where it closes up at the end. Go ahead and give me a scrutinize.
All right.
Alice is painting madly on the walls. Probably the worst part, Jet, was that while she took the picture, she made you stand still with all the gook dripping off of you while she got it set up.
Mm-hmm.
And she was grinning the whole time.
So it's 1d6 minus 5.
She's a journalist, but she's also an artist.
Yes.
I forgot to take a
Here
level.
you go again.
Oh boy. All right. Here we go. So
8 minus 5 is a 3. Yeah, you this time you sort of balance the lantern on a couple of rocks and physically get in there with your hands and shove them into the shadows, because what could possibly happen now? And you convince yourself that there's no more to this cave and there's nothing else in here bigger than sort of cockroaches.
I don't want.
Can I actually search the spider to see if I find anything useful?
You certainly can. Give me a medicine. Oh, you're searching it, or you're searching like to see if it had anything on it?
Just on it, like
Okay.
just to see
Like
if it dropped.
stuck in it.
Yeah, like
In that case, give me a
maybe
scrutinize instead.
maybe
You
it
looking for
dropped something
useful?
useful,
Yeah, give me a scrutinize.
as a 9.
You got no wounds, so it's a 9. So,
Yeah.
there's nothing on it. Like there's no, there was nothing attached to it. There's no belts or anything like that. There's no sort of treasure pile anywhere in here that it was resting on. It makes sense. It just ran in here to hide when it saw you coming. It was out front guarding its eggs, right? What you do find on this one, it's ruined in the damage that it took. But in that gizzard area, in that front thorax section, there was quite a large poison sac, and that's what it was spitting. But in this case, it's all blown up. But you can tell from where it's come out of there in its pure form in that sac, it was strong enough to slightly scorch the rock where it landed.
So do I think that on if one was killed differently, I could harvest this from another one?
It is absolutely possible. Someone with the right skills could do it. You also get the impression that if they got it wrong, they would have some pretty horribly scarred hands for a while.
I would pull his neck and be like, and show him.
Lucius, yeah.
Yeah, I'm be like, yeah, Lucius.
He's poking this eye into a jar full of alcohol to preserve it.
She's like, that doesn't seem useful. But
It's just the motion of the liquid, the eyes kind of.
You never know. The Lauren, it was Lauren, right?
what? Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
No, not Al. I'm talking about the person.
Laura.
Laura, sorry.
Yeah, Laura Giles. Yep.
Right. Laura did say that they could see in the dark. So...
Yes, they can. You hear from back at the door. She never came.
Oh, right.
Nice.
I'm gonna say, but look at this, and I'm gonna show him the poison sac. Like,
Ooh.
if this were fully intact, you might be able to harvest it.
Can I try medicine to see if we can preserve any, or is it just completely just botched?
In this case, it's blown apart. This is exactly where both shots hit it, like a shotgun blast from range 0. Just sort of evacuated that area, and then if there was one little lobe of it left, that got shot through.
Okay.
And I also say, we should pick up that spray from the other one on the way out.
Absolutely agreed. For maybe future endeavor with these creatures. The poison's a very good idea, Alice. I would like to do a little research on that.
And as I step out from the crack I've been examining, and I was like, sure, you could do whatever you want as I burn them.
What are you burning?
Everything. All of the things. These things cannot be allowed to be left. Not a trace.
You are convinced from your search, now that you've got some lantern time, there's no egg sacs in here, but that's not how they do it anyway. So what you would probably be looking for would be more bodies outside.
Skylar's face.
Burn it all down.
No,
However I have to do it,
I
burn it.
detect an underlying hatred of spiders in this situation.
I'm making sure that I get that spray off of that one before he sets it on fire.
Go for it. What I'm going to do is, as long as everybody's, whatever, I'll ask for help, but if they don't help, I'll do it myself. I'm essentially dragging all the bodies out there into the
Jet,
cave.
I will help you for this for this scenario. I think cremation is absolutely necessary, so I do agree with you. Calm down.
There you go. And so I'm just pulling them in the cave into a pile because
I am not ruining this dress to drag bodies around. So
I was waiting. Alice does not carry the dead.
And you should just go find your spray can, Miss Alice.
Spritzer. So yeah, you guys in the process of doing this, it's not a big deal. Most of the human meat has been blown off of the ones outside. If you remember, most of them were missing arms and legs. So there's like, it's basically like the skin and a thin layer of muscle of human over these dead insect skeletons, essentially. And you start hauling them and legs start snapping off and you have to haul torsos. And you do find the spritzer. It's literally like the old fashioned bug spritzers. You ever seen them? They got the canister on the bottom and you go, pff, pff, pff. It's literally one of those. You smell the end and I mean, it just about makes you die. It is like the strongest herbicide smell you've ever smelt in your life. And you go, and it goes,
it's pretty much empty.
It's empty. It's slightly dented. You look down at him, and his hands are what's left of them are in that
That was
position.
his last thing he was
doing
trying
this.
to do, kind of a thing.
As it took him.
Well, since it A smells bad
Mhm.
and B is empty, she'll hand it to Lucius and be like, "Here,
Oh, thank you. More research.
this is I do not want to carry this around on my person."
Yeah, there might be enough there that if you found somebody who knew what they were doing with their chemicals, they might be able to figure out what's in there.
So,
Write down bug sprayer. I'm not keeping track of your stuff. I'll give it to you. You got to keep track of it.
based on your description of these things snapping off as we're dragging them and moving them, can I make a guts check just to hold my lunch down?
Absolutely, you can. Yeah. That thing with the spider inside happened. So yeah, you fail that. Yeah, you have, roll 1d6. You only just fail.
All right. I do also have tough as nails, but that just means I won't run away.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. You grab the first one by the leg and pull, and at first you thought the boot came off. You're like,
Oh.
damn it,
No.
foot, but the foot's gone. You look in the boot, the foot's still in the boot, and you throw up right in the boot.
I go up to Jet and I put my hand on her shoulder. Maybe perhaps let the professionals handle this.
Alice will pull out a small little bottle of perfume and just like like right around, like right on Jet, like just all over Jet.
I just wipe my mouth and I'm just like, I can handle myself, partner.
Lavender.
Go into
It's
a,
gotta be
bottle.
lavender, right? It's like that granny scent, right? The one that
Yeah, like the with the little like.
it smells like lavender, just a little
Yeah.
glass ball.
Jet, I offer you my canteen of water.
Thank you,
You
man.
may
but
want this.
I just take a sip and wipe it off.
You know, you can keep that. You can give it back when you wash it out.
I'm just gonna go to work, just enjoying it because it's what I do.
You guys haul them into the cave. Yeah, the airflow is going to be a bit of a problem because there's air got to get into the fire and come back out the same hole to escape. So it's not going to burn real hot. And especially your undertaking skills, you've probably experienced some cremations. This is not going to reduce them to ashes. This is the kind of heat that's more like going to cook them.
Oh, that's gonna stink.
I will tell them that, so it's like, in my experience.
Yeah, in other words, to give these people a proper burial would require dragging them all the way to the town.
I'm not going anywhere near them if you're gonna be cooking them like that. That smell's gonna be gross.
Finally, she says something worthwhile.
How kind of you, Alice.
Well, we could always do it the old-fashioned way. I take my shovel.
There's gotta be. I don't care if we like, as long as they're.
Yeah, Jet doesn't care about a proper burial. He just wants to make sure.
I just want to make sure nothing ain't nothing coming out of those again.
There's you're hauling sort of the last torso. You got an arm tucked under one arm, and you're just choking back the ill, and you're just pulling this thing across the snow. And every time you do, you leave a trail from where they were to this cave entrance. And just as you get to the cave entrance, there's a of a branch snapping in the forest. You guys all go, and there's a wolf standing just inside the forest line with a big thing of drool hanging off of his chin. He's not looking at you; he's looking at the body.
Or we could have let nature take its course, perhaps.
Maybe we should back away and just let the wolf handle that. I don't want to mess with a wolf. The spider was enough, thanks.
I mean, we practically made a buffet for them. We might as well just walk away.
Also, Sarah, I mean, Alice, I think your mic was cutting out because I couldn't hear you when you were talking.
Oh, I was muted. I said just the look on your face was just.
I don't want to deal with no wolf spiders. This is where because I'm assuming I have no training in any of this, so I don't know how these things work. For all I know, it's magic. Like, so
Jet is Latin for worst case scenario prognosticator.
Mm-hmm.
look, you know what? I'll level with you. They can eat it if we can cook it. How about that?
Sure, set a torch to them and then let's run away.
I can deal with that.
So yeah, okay, you get them in there, you get some dry wood and get it started underneath them, and you kind of prop them up on rocks so that you can get some airflow. And sure, it's you're basically creating roast insect people steaks for everybody. You leave the area, and as you are moving out of the clearing, you look behind you, and first one, then two more, then three more. By the time you guys are out of sight, there's about 8 wolves sitting in a semicircle around the entrance to that cave, just sitting there like they're waiting for their owner to put the dog dish down. Just drool here and there. The occasional one goes,
Do we create a trail?
gets a little closer, backs up from the smoke. But yeah, you get the idea. As soon as that fire is out, they're going to be in there eating whatever's left.
Play our cards right. Maybe we could have a pack of wolves on our side.
You can wolf tame. I'll hang over here.
Yeah.
Can I have your money before you do that?
I'm joking.
Which reminds me, Miss Laura, we did everything that's gonna satisfy your people, right? We killed them. That's all that they needed.
You did indeed. It's dead. I saw it. I witnessed it. You have the eternal gratitude of my employers. If you ever need anything help from the agency, you just let us know.
When you say gratitude, is there any physical gratitude?
You mean more than $1,000?
I thought you weren't going to give us that because you were just.
Oh, that's right. I took it back, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
sure. Yes, of course. Sorry, I'm a little flustered.
You're flustered. You weren't even in there.
I've been with the agency 3 months.
So you don't know
Shit.
what all
I don't know shit.
Well, no wonder the rookie wanted to leave when we started all this.
He had only been with the company 6 months. There's been a lot of hiring lately.
All about the money?
Absolutely saved my ass. Absolutely. You got that 1,000. That was our per diem. That was our bonus for that. You can have it. Absolutely. When we get back to town, when we get to whatever city, it'll be absolutely. Back
Ellie,
up the train. I can give it to you as soon as we get there.
are we still splitting it? I'm talking to Ellie.
Of course.
I like you.
So
I
she
get that a lot.
shakily puts the Gatling pistol away on her hip and says, "Well, let's go get our things and head back up to the train. We've got to get up that valley. I hope nothing's happened to those other people."
All right.
Alright,
Shall we?
we going.
Did we get everything in the back of the train?
All of your stuff, yeah. You've gotten all your own stuff.
Okay.
except maybe not all of Alice's.
It's okay. Alice grabbed a few.
Not a
You know,
bunch. Yeah.
She grabbed a few things, the essentials.
So you guys make your way back to the tracks where you started tracking this thing back up the tracks to the train, where the train is hanging off of still precariously hanging off the rails. As you get back there to where these people left, and remember they left and you left at the same time, they clearly they put out the fire and that sort of thing. But the grave slot, the large S that the hillbillies cut, that Lucius then turned into graves for the bad guys, they've been dug up. The bodies are gone.
Oh, that
That's
that
what-
actually makes me very angry. Actually, that would make him very angry.
I draw my pistol.
Mm-hmm.
How are they dug up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but dug up.
Make
Like,
some scrutinize rolls for me.
I don't.
Wow. You guys just saved it all for combat, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know much about graves,
Just-
so.
Yeah.
It's not. Fine, I'll do it. I don't want to do.
Says the
it.
guy who's exploded more dice tonight than most people do in 3 weeks.
You also got a crit a 1, so.
Yeah.
That's true. He's just playing. Yeah, he's flipping dice. He's not. He's flipping coins, not rolling dice. Okay. They were, at the very least, Lucius would know this wasn't dug up with a shovel. This was dug up with claws.
That's interesting. Some mangy animals seem to have dug up the bodies.
That sure is a different stance than you were talking about earlier.
Pray tell.
You were fine with feeding them to the wolves earlier.
Those were abominations walking on the earth.
These were just criminals.
Yes, and very flawed.
You don't have to talk back to the DM. That's just me.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to God.
I'm assuming you guys start to make your way towards down this valley that the railwayman, the cook, pointed out to you, towards the town of Paradise.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Alice has a rifle out, though.
Sorry?
Alice has a rifle out, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, after finding that, the logical conclusion would probably be wolves did it, but it's a lot of work. Like that's three holes, 6 feet deep, 8 feet long. That's a lot of digging.
It is.
Anyway,
Especially for
back to this. So yeah, on your toes and fearful for what the hell is going to happen next. Anybody that took wind in that last damage gets it back before you guys continue on. Wounds, again, you can heal them sort of once a day if anybody took any, but I don't really think they did.
I still have a wound, and Jet has a couple wounds, right?
Yep.
I have a wound, but it's not bad.
All right. Well, step in line. Who would like to get healed?
Ladies first.
You're hurt worse than I am, Jet. Go ahead.
All right. I mean, I've only got 2 light wounds. It's one in the upper guts and one in the arm. So.
Okay. So light wounds are only a 3 or a 5. I have the table. Healing. Light wound is you need to roll 5 target number.
Right. Okay.
Yep, that's absolutely. So that wound is healed. And again, you're rolling for location. So had he had 3 wounds, you would have healed them all because you had 3 successes.
So that was
So
my.
ace and a success and 2 aces.
Was that arms or guts?
That was the guts, I believe, was what we were going to do first.
Okay.
That's what happened in my head, anyway. And then roll again for the arm.
Okay.
Yep. So you get both of those back. Whoever
Good
was
as
first.
new.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he wraps you
I'm
up
still
and,
taking a -1. So
The wounds, you're right, both of those were at -1, so it still doesn't matter. You only need one success each. So he gets you sort of, uses a bit of, material to sort of plug the holes and wrap nice and tight around it and get the bleeding stopped. And the damage is still there, but it doesn't affect you, so there's no real wound there anymore, effectively. Next, I believe Ellie was next.
yes.
Just one
And I-
wound.
And
Yeah.
I will also heal myself afterwards. So
So Ellie just a light, so 5 or better.
right, here we are, Miss.
Oh, look
Okay.
at that.
Give me everlasting life with that roll.
Just touches it and goes, ah. And on yourself,
Wow.
this is where you roll the 1.
Thank you, Lucius.
You're very
14.
welcome.
So yeah, everybody's all healed up. Alice is looking around going, you people have a bad habit of bleeding.
Right? Yeah, Alice is like,
Worst she's had so far is dirt on the hem of her skirt.
oh, but that's worse than a wound, I feel like.
Well, at least nobody got a picture.
Yeah, no. That's why Alice takes the pictures, right? So,
That's why you wear red so they can't see you bleed.
Can't see the
There you
blood.
go.
That's right. Red and black.
I'm getting quite the practice these days. I'm considering charging in the future.
Yeah, there is a he's good at what he does. I mean, there's no question that he heals you, but his bedside manner, there just isn't one. You literally feel like a piece of meat while he's sewing you up and wrapping you up, because if you move it, he kind of jumps like he's not used to things moving as he's fixing.
oh, that's funny.
Oh,
But
my-
he is getting
I love
he does get you guys all
I
healed up.
love that.
Damn it, Kevin. You beautiful bastard.
That's brilliant. I wish I had thought that.
We do this as a team, man. Everybody will have those thoughts, and we will tell a great story better than any one of us could have told by themselves. So, so you guys are heading now down this fairly steep bank to the bottom of the trestle. And from the bottom, looking back up, you can see that where the engine and the coal car are together, the metal on the coal car has got a crease, like it's very slowly starting to move.
The town isn't below that, right?
Oh, it's 25 miles away. It's going to take you the whole rest of the day to get there.
Okay, good. And
You
I
guys
have
start down to the bottom, look up. This is looming over you, and you quickly make your way down the valley.
Yep.
I have words for Miss Laura while we're moving.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're traveling, I'm gonna turn to her and be like, "You said you've only been working for these people for 3 months,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and did you know they were doing this kind of work when you signed on?"
You ever been to a job interview where they told you the truth about the job you were going to do?
Ma'am, I'm from Prescott, Arizona. There ain't many job interviews going on around there.
I'll be completely honest with you. I'm from Boston.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I think I'll stick with this voice. I've been working on it since I started. Can I ask you a favor? You seem like a nice man.
Sure, ma'am.
When we get back, can you not tell them I'm from Boston? I kind of told them I lied, okay? I got this job by lying. I am totally unqualified. I
Ma'am,
never shot anything ever. I pulled the trigger. That thing just about came out of my hand. I almost shot you.
not the best thing, but look, ma'am, that ain't my secret to tell. I have no interest in that. My only thing would be, do you trust me at least based on what you've seen so far?
I trust you more than I trust me.
Perfect. If you're going to continue working for this company, all I ask is if you hear any more odd things like this happening, if they're moving anything they shouldn't be moving, if they're doing anything that you wouldn't say the eyes of God would shine kindly upon, I'd say, please let me know and I will handle it without your name ever being muttered.
There's a look on her face. For just a second, all the pretense falls away. And I'm not even going to make you roll. The look is like half shock and half just the deepest gratitude. You don't even know me. Who are you?
Name's Jet, ma'am, and I'm just someone trying to do a little bit of justice in a big bad world. It's bigger than you and it's bigger than me.
Somebody should be writing your story.
Well,
Alice will be like, she just glare at her. Like,
Of course, the camera. I should have.
mm-hmm.
it ain't
It
by
kind of shows
choice.
that I'm not a very good agent, doesn't it?
Mm-mm.
I go up to Ellie and just like kind of nudge her, like look.
Oh man, Alice is not fond of this woman. Oh, not only is she below Alice's station, but she tried to abandon her post.
She got scared. Give her a break.
No.
Lied to get a job. Who hasn't lied to get a job?
I whisper to Lucius, how fast do you think it's going to be until Alice just clocks her?
What's? I bet you 5.
I'll take that.
Give it a week.
Alice can Alice hear
week,
Can Alice hear you? Are you in earshot?
I
It's
whisper.
more or less all sort of,
But we're
you're
close,
in
so.
bantering range. You guys are feeling sort of alive right now after the afternoon that you've had.
Alice, like, without even like looking at either of them, would, because I assume that kind of like we're walking in front of them and they're walking like behind us.
Yeah,
Alice would
that's
go,
kinda how I saw it.
as if I would ever dirty these hands for the likes of her.
I'm not asking for anything like that. Nothing at all. Just thank you for killing it.
Yes, ma'am, of course. But do we have an agreement?
I don't know how to get a hold. I mean, I could telegraph every station in the state.
I'll make sure we stay in touch, ma'am.
You're going to be in paradise for a while, you think? I mean, it's going to be weeks before they get that railway fixed.
I don't know if we have much choice, so probably.
Well, they'll come and get me. It'll only be a couple days, but absolutely, I will. What am I talking about? I work for the most amazing detective agency in the world. Some of them must be able to find you. There must be ways to do that.
Most
Probably
of
safe
it
bet.
seems a little inflated, but
Yes, because inflation is in no short supply around here.
what do you think about that, cowboy?
Nothing at all, ma'am. Nothing at all.
And you guys continue down the valley. From time to time, you see, a couple footprints by the trail or something where the people who were ahead of you, your group is ahead. You see at one point there's a small campfire that's been very carefully put out. Looks like that's probably where they stopped for lunch. If it is, they're not making very good time, and you're probably going to sort of catch up to them about the same time. If he was right, and it was 25 miles, and your math is right, you're going to catch up to them just before you get to the city or the town itself. You guys continue along.
Yep.
And eventually, after taking a short break yourselves for dinner, it's early evening, sort of just past the dinner hour. And you come around a bend in the road, and it opens. You've been in a fairly narrow pass through the mountains, and it opens up in front of you. You can see it coming, and as you get closer, it gets wider and wider and wider. And as you step forth, you guys are down here at the bottom where it says "to the railway." You guys can see the map of the valley?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, right down there. You are at just right up here at the corner of this map. And ahead of you in the valley, you can see this beautiful little still blue lake with a creek that runs up a fairly steep valley away from you and up to another pass in the mountains that is much narrower and much, much higher. Beside that lake, just to the side that you're on, you see a fairly small town. It's probably got 75 to 100 people living in it, given the number of buildings that are there. The rest of the valley is full of very dense pine forest, the kind that you know from previous experience. There's no undergrowth because pine is very acidic and it kills everything that's underneath it. So the whole forest is sort of from 4 feet off the ground down is just the stems, the stalks of trees. From there up, it's impenetrably green. You can see if you come off the trail, you're never going to see it. But probably the weirdest thing about this whole valley is it's starting in the town of Paradise, going straight up that valley, and then at the end, straight up the pass in a perfectly straight line that it's not going to work. It's a railroad. Just one set of tracks that goes from the center of town right up to the top of this pass away from you. You can see right up to there. You can see it stops about a half mile before the actual peak of the pass. And just ahead of you, partway down the hill, only a couple of 100 yards, they're not keeping very good watch, is the rest of the group from the train. Anastasia proudly leading the way. You can see her adjusting herself and making sure that everything is in the invisible pocket of infinite capacity in her bodice, and you can see she's dusting herself off and she's about to make an entry into town.
Yeah.
The rest of them are sort of falling behind. The hillbillies are sort of off to one off to each side, sort of hand on their little knives and their pistols, looking around like they're pretending to be on guard.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that princess.
I just
That's her
like
girl.
they're pretending.
So like I said, they're only a couple of 100 yards ahead of you, so you could very easily catch up.
Might as well see how they're doing.
Yeah.
You guys just sort of pick up your pace a little bit and catch up. It's probably a good thing that nothing happened to them on the way here, because you guys are almost on top of them before one of the hillbillies turns and says, "Oh shit!"
Alice will take her rightful place beside
Sorry?
Princess Anastasia. Alice will take her rightful place.
Just walk right up, just
in
walk
front.
everybody right up to the front, not even break stride. Yeah. Yep.
She hikes that dress up. And she...
And make a. Would you care what the hillbilly said at this point?
Would Alice care?
Yeah.
Depends on what foolishness came out of their mouth, I guess.
Well, you just walk right through, and he kind of looks at the other three and says, "That's a right snooty one there."
And Alice would she wouldn't react like physically. She would just say, "If you knew anything, you'd know I have every right to be," and just keep going.
And he drops his voice and mutters to the other three, "They all say that." I had Andy thought she was above her station too.
And then I just, even if I heard that, she just
And you guys
turns her nose up and keeps going.
together, the whole bunch of you, down the trail and just up to the outskirts of Paradise, where we will take our break. So, we made it to here.
We made it to
Made
the
it.
All the
thing.
way.
Ignominiously named Paradise.
Welcome to paradise. I'm not gonna make the joke again. We already did that once. One time use around here, friends. Alrighty, we'll see you when we get back. Well, boy, howdy. Took care of them there spider creatures good. Even got some parts off. I don't know, might be tasty victuals. Let's find out when they get into paradise. Finally, the 3 episodes before we finally get to the place that thing's named after. All right, let's go.
Think of it as a 7.5 hour intro scene. You know those movies where they don't roll the credits until you've forgotten all about them, and then they annoy you by rolling the credits 12 minutes in just after you got to bed?
Or when you're playing a video game and you've been playing it for so long that like the intro, the title screen rolls, and you're like, oh my god, that was just the intro.
Well, I guess that's where I'll finish today's 3-hour stream. So before we move on, there is this small matter of reward. On the road, you are given $1,000 by Miss Laura, which I believe only 2 of you are taking, so $500 each, plus 1 too rich to dirty her hands on such small change, and 1 too honorable to take it for a job that needed to be done anyway. We'll see how long he keeps that up when he hasn't got money for pancakes.
Hey, they promised me a stick of dynamite.
I got you. I will buy you your stick of
I
dynamite.
don't need pancakes, I just want dynamite. Get that tattooed on your shoulder. So
Those are some dynamite pancakes.
So here's the deal. You guys all killed the hatchlings, so you get 1 red chip each. You don't have to draw, you just get a red one.
Ooh.
And remember, the red chips, if you use them in-game to reduce wounds or to heal wind, I get a chip for the bad guys. But because you killed the mature Husker and did not let it get away, which it would have done if it had got out the doors because it was way faster than any of you, 1 blue chip each, which does the same thing as a red chip, but I don't get any benefit from it.
So that's
You may also, after going through what you just went through, considering the dead, the mutilated, the burning, the wolves, everything else, you may all have 1 point of grit.
Ooh.
What that means is now every time there's a fear roll from now on, you will get to add 1 to your roll.
Ooh.
You guys killed that thing before any of you actually had to make a grit roll for it because it was on his face, so he couldn't see it, and the rest of you killed it too fast. So, and with that, we find ourselves heading down into the town of Paradise itself. You guys are approaching from basically from sort of the southeast corner, sort of this area down here. And again, you can see as you approach, a lot of the buildings are really obvious what they are. There's signs on them. These are businesses. So within a few minutes, by the time you actually get down the hill and into town, you've kind of got the layout figured out. You can see the map in front of you there now, and with all the names at the top of what things are. Obviously, some of those you wouldn't know, but for this point. But the absolute key feature to this thing is this railway that starts in the middle of town. There's a pile, it's not on the map, but it is right at the end of the rails there. There's a pile of ties, like the wooden ties that they use to make rails, and there's also a section of about 10 pieces of this rail laying there. Weirdly enough, there's no rust on the rail. Even though, train rails are rusty. They just are.
And which way are we coming into the town? Is it down here?
Yeah, you're in the southeast corner, essentially. So the bottom right.
So like over here.
There's an old fella sitting on the stair. Yeah, exactly. There's an old fella. This is a saloon here right beside the tracks. And there's an old fella sitting next to it playing steel guitar. Beside him, there's about a half-full bottle of whiskey.
Of course, there is.
There's other people moving around in the town all over the place.
Trump.
Laura looks at you and says, I need to get to the telegraph office.
Alice does not care.
Well, I guess Jet's gonna walk up to this gentleman's picking on his guitar, or within range, and just say, "Howdy, mister. We're looking for the telegraph office."
He doesn't look up at all. In fact, he's staring at the ground, and he's got his hat on, and it's tilted forward, so you can't really see his face.
Is he asleep?
Nope, he's awake. His fingers are moving. He's playing guitar. He's got the metal thing on his finger. He's playing slide guitar, and you hear him say, I can't rightly see it from here. And he looks up, and instead of eyes, it's just patches of skin. He says, of course, I can't rightly see nothing from here.
Ah. Well,
Here he is.
I'm.
Hmm.
Is there a door into the saloon from here?
Yep, absolutely. Weirdly enough, this is it's built like a train station. It's a saloon, but it's built to look like a train station.
I think I'll just ask inside. And I'll just walk on past and push my way in.
Big sign above his head across the top that says "End of the Line Saloon."
I don't like that.
But there's two ends of the line, and one's up there, and one's right here.
So again, this is built to look like a train station, but clearly it isn't. It's a hotel and a bar and a tavern and a place to eat once you get inside. There's also a few gaming tables just inside the doors. You can see poker tables off to the left and a pool table off to the right.
Alright.
There's probably one of the barmaids or bartenders around.
Oh, several. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much fully staffed. And
Is
they're
it
all
like a-
dressed like railway people. Like they're all dressed in fake railway gear.
Okay. I'll go up to the bartender and I'll just say, excuse me, we're new. Could you point us to the telegraph office?
And he looks down at you, kind of chews his lip for a second, and he says, that'd be at the Paradise Dispatch. They got the only telegraph in town. That's the newspaper office. Just over there. And he points to number just out the back. He actually points out the back window, and it's right behind, just down this street here, right there.
Alice is like, newspaper? And she's just gone.
Out the door and around and back and heading for the newspaper, yeah.
Thank you kindly, and I'll give him a buck.
Thank you, miss. It's not necessary, but you bring your friends back here later. I'll make sure you get a good seat by the window.
I appreciate it greatly. Trust me, I know how difficult it is to be with these types.
And he looks around. There's a couple, it's getting early evening, and there's those guys in the corner that have been there since noon, and they're just like leaning against the wall, kind of sliding a little bit. There's this much beer left in the bottom of each one of their glasses. They're already just done. And he looks over and he says, "Yeah, I hate shoveling them out of here."
You and me both, sir.
And I would have been with her because that was where I was headed to. And if I heard that, I would just be like, if you need get any trouble out of there. Wow, words are hard. I've been on the road all day.
Jed got hit in the head. Ignore him.
Yeah, spiders and whatnot.
Did I hear him say the word shoveling?
Yep.
It's like I just adjust my spectacles and then I go look for the nearest mortician or undertaker that's in town. There's work.
He says, "You're looking for the closest we got to that. We got a doctor and we got a feller who buries the dead.
Ooh, competition.
He's been they both been busy.
I bet. Maybe they could use a hand.
Staying in paradise long?
Is there a view of the train outside? That like the station?
Ain't no train, son.
No, I was asking you, but
Yeah, there is no
Same
train.
answer.
I was just gonna look at the train. I was just gonna look out the window. It's like probably.
There's nothing out there. You can see them as you guys walk into town. You could see the whole track all the way up the hill, all the way down the hill. There is no train in sight.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
look at.
place to put one. There's no building where one might be hidden.
Yes, probably.
What was your name?
Hang on a second while I check.
We've all been there. We've all
No,
forgotten.
y'all can call me Dobbin.
Dobbin, I'm Ellie. It's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ellie. And he reaches out to shake your hand.
I shake his hand.
And as he takes it back, he says, I shook some hands like that before. Y'all have poured a drink or two, yeah?
Many a drink.
Well, tell you what, if you want to settle down here, I could certainly offer you a job. Be nice to have somebody else behind the bar that I thought I could trust.
Well, I'd greatly appreciate it. And given our situation, I may have to take you up on that.
He says, well, in that case, miss, you take this back. And he slides the dollar back across the table to you. He says, if you got it to spare, you come by yourself and drink later.
I just might. Thank you so much, Dobbin.
And yeah, he goes back to serving he starts shooing the drunks out of the corner and getting drinks for other people. So.
Well, shall we to the telegraph office, Miss Laura?
Yes, we got to get there. Oh boy, this is going to be a difficult message. But yes, absolutely. I have to go there and send this. I will almost certainly have to leave very shortly thereafter. They're probably not going to want to. I've been thinking, I don't think they're going to want to come and get me. I'm probably going to have to get back to the end of that rail line for them to pick me up.
Alone?
I've got this. And she holds up the Gatling pistol, and you can see it's shaking.
Ma'am, I will make sure you get back in one piece.
And you hear from the corner of the bar, well, I might be able to assist you with that. And you look over, and there is what can only be described as a dandy in the corner. He's got a little gray bowler hat with a black strap. He's wearing a suit. He's got a cane, a black cane with a silver sort of dragon head handle. He's got both hands on. He's quite young. He doesn't look like he needs the cane at all. His hair is very slick to his face. He's got perfectly clean shave, which is really not something you see very often in this part of the world. And he looks across and says, I've got friends who can certainly escort her back to the train. But we all know how this works. I scratch your back and you scratch mine.
I don't scratch nothing I don't know, mister.
All I need is an escort up this fine rail line to the top. My uncle left me the claim. I just got to go see if it's as fulfilling as he said it would be.
Is there a thing like insight? I forget if there's an insight in this game.
Yeah, kind of streetwise, where you try to read somebody's face.
Somebody else make this
Yeah,
check.
I'll
Try.
take the check.
Yeah, go ahead. Everybody can have a look at him. He's talking to all of you, so he keeps looking from one to the other.
1d6 minus 4 on me, so that's a
Goodness.
negative number.
Yeah.
What a nice, definitely not evil gentleman.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's all right. Lucius trusts him like nothing.
Lucius is
Wait,
like, is this my brother?
Oh yeah, no, he is still here.
I can't help myself. He's very distinguished, like myself. You know, like, look at that. You know, it's clearly shaved.
What is
I'm
Ellie?
wondering what his products he's using.
Yes. And he says, as I said, my uncle left me this mine in the will, and the rail line, and well, on the deed it says that they expected a yield in the tons of ghost rock, which, as I understand it, means millions of dollars. But I need to get up there and make sure it is what it says it is. I've hired some fellas who do the work, but they won't go up without an escort because they said there's wolves around here.
They're not wrong about that.
Are you in a hurry, mister?
Not in an immediate hurry. I mean, I'm certainly not going out in the dark tonight.
How about I'll help this lady get back to the train station or the railway, and then I'll help you with your issue if you still need it.
And she looks at you and says, it's going to take you all day to walk me there and back. And then you come back by yourself? That's crazy.
We don't know this man from Adam. I don't know if I want to send his friends with you. Do you really want to go off in the woods alone?
To be fair, I don't know you from Adam either.
Oof.
She's not wrong.
So much for trust.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I trust you completely, but I just wanted to point out I met you yesterday.
Ma'am, I will let that be your call. If you trust these men and want to go with them, I will not stop you, as uncomfortable as it may make me. That's your call, ma'am.
I've got to send the message, and I've got to go. I have to do this. I have to show them I'm worthy.
Yes, ma'am.
And she, unless someone's going with her, she's buggering off to
No,
the.
Alice is already at the.
You're already heading to the telegraph office as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm
everybody
checking
else.
I'm checking his products now.
Oh my god.
Are you gonna go over and talk to him? Absolutely.
Oh, as well. So it's like,
And the other two, Jet and Ellie.
I'm a little at a loss. I think I'm probably just gonna turn to Ellie and be like, I ain't been to many other towns other than Prescott. Now, this one ain't much bigger than Prescott, but I'm really not sure what we should do now. If she goes off on her own, I guess we can help this gentleman.
So, like you said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Maybe he will have something to help us.
Maybe. And I just kind of look at him, but
So Alice, you and Laura make your way to the telegraph station. You walk in the door, and there's a little telegraph, like it's a table with a piece of paper on it and a pencil, and you sit down and write your telegraph out. And there's nobody sitting behind the table. There's one person behind the sort of. It almost looks like an old bank, and in one of the teller windows, there's a guy sitting there with a little flat hat on, like it's.
Oh
flat.
yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
With the, it almost has a press card sticking here, and he's got his sweaty white shirt on, and his collar's open, and his little tie is open, and he's just banging away on this archaic typewriter. Just he looks up. Oh, not many people come in here. Hi, I'm Dan Comfort. Shoves his hands.
Alice. Alice O'Hare.
Nice to meet you, Alice. What the O'Hares of the O'Hares?
Why, of course, the O'Hares.
Well, what can I do for you today, miss?
Well, I heard something about a newspaper.
Yes, ma'am, that's me, ma'am. Publisher, director, editor-in-chief, reporter-in-chief.
Being out here so far from everything, what kind of business do you do with your newspaper?
I will admit it does not have the largest circulation. Miss, is that a camera?
Why, it very so much is.
Well, I know a thing or two about cameras, and that ain't you ain't get that out of the mail or the catalog. That's a real one.
Yes, of course it is. Only the best for an O'Hare, as
So
you seem to
you
know.
are a professional photographer?
Of course I am. I've actually got quite a picture that might be right up your alley.
I got a room in the back where y'all can develop it, for sure, absolutely, for sure.
Do you have any photochemicals for sale, or would they have that down at the mercantile?
I got them here. I don't think nobody else in town does pictures, but I got them here.
But they certainly don't do them like me if they do.
I'm sure they don't, ma'am. I'm sure they don't. You said you was you asked me why I was here. You ever known any photographers who done it for a real long time? Take lots of real bad pictures, real bad things, and then have real bad dreams? I come out here to get away from the bad dreams, miss. It don't work, but that's what I did.
That's very interesting.
I don't mind telling you, miss, this town is nuts.
Yeah, what is with the no train track?
Oh, Milton's Folly. Yeah, that's a story, all right. A fella named Milton, he found this rumored he found ghost rock up in the mountains. Also rumored he spent too long up there and it made him mental as hell. He come down one day and said he's going to build. There's so much ghost rock he need a train, and he started building that track. And they told him it's too steep, no train going up and down that track. But he built it anyway. And the damn fool made the rails out of ghost steel, no doubt, no less.
Would Alice know what ghost steel is or ghost rock? Any of that?
Not real. I mean, you know what
Okay.
ghost rock is? It's like super cool. And yes, there's rumors that if you're exposed to the fumes for any length of time, it will make you mad. But ghost steel, you haven't heard of.
Yeah, that's. And what exactly is ghost steel?
Well, you use ghost rock instead of coal when you make it. Instead of carbon, you put ghost rock in it. It don't rust, and it's got some properties.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things don't like it much.
Certain things like what?
Well, ma'am, you'll probably laugh at me, you and I being people of logic and such, but he believed that it would prevent spirits and such from crossing his line.
Well, that is just absurd.
It is, especially because that ghost steel's 10 times as expensive as regular steel, and he blew his whole wad building that railroad, got nothing left to dig the hole at the top.
Hmm.
He died. Now his damn fool nephew's here.
Well, take a look at. I got a picture. So we actually was coming. Well, we weren't coming here. I'll tell you that. But
He is, miss.
we were. We had a bit of a train crash. Some bandits and robbers, the usual, and had a bit of an adventure. And this was the closest town for us to come send a telegraph out.
So nobody knows about this? This is an exclusive?
This is an exclusive. Brand new, hot off the presses.
So what with it being late and all, it's going to take us some time to develop them pictures you got. Once they're developed, I think we put them in the morning dispatch tomorrow, and then maybe I buy you breakfast and you don't send your information to whatever you work until lunch.
I could be amenable to that.
A scoop.
As you know,
long
I'm
time.
sure us O'Hares, we do keep our deals and promises.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I asked. Well, you mind if I give you a byline, miss? I mean, I'll obviously credit for the picture, but let's get that developed. Come on in the back.
And then hold on, before we do that, can she write down and send out a telegraph?
And yeah, she, as soon as you went in, she went and sat at the table, started writing, scratched it out, wrote some more, scratched it out, wrote some more. By the time you get to her, she's got like most of a paragraph written out.
Yeah.
And he walks over behind the little desk, takes off the hat that he had on, puts on a little like the blackjack dealer's hat. You know, it's just the brim. There's no part here. He puts that on and starts to beep 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 the thing in, and then gets to the end and says, "Oh, and of course you're not paying for this because it's the agency. I guess I bill direct, do I?" And she kind of embarrassedly says, "Yes, that's how it works."
Mm-hmm. He sounded annoyed by that.
Yeah, most people pay right away. He's got to send a bill off.
Yeah. Especially this guy probably doesn't make squat.
I mean, you know enough about this industry. There's only 100 people in this town. Probably some of them are adults. Even if they all read the paper, how the hell is he making any money?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got his. He's happy because he's got his scoop for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
First,
and see, Alice isn't worried about it because, you know, as far as she's concerned, she gives the scoop to him, gets a nice little cushy deal out of it, and nobody else is going to hear about it until she decides that. So it's still going to be a scoop no matter where she takes it because it's not going to leave this little place.
Not to mention, in case I think you got it, but yeah, he thinks you work for another newspaper. He just assumed that you were working for someone else, and we're going to send the story out. So, yeah, so he does everything in his power to try and get you back into that back room. He wants to see these pictures.
Yeah. So does
You want to do
Alice.
that?
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll skip back to the other three. The three of you go over and sit down by this gentleman, and he says, "Oh, you're willing to listen, I see. Wonderful. Oh, you're quite charming, aren't you?" He's looking at Lucius. He looks over at Jet, and the rugged, handsome type.
Say, you're no slouch yourself, sir.
Why, thank you. I'm looking for. Well, I need hired guns, frankly, is what I'm looking for. I've got these miners who are willing to do the assay tests for me. We're just going to go up there and break a few rocks, as I understand it, and see if we can find some ghost rock. And
Well,
then they're going to tell me how much it's worth, and but they won't go up without armed guards. Apparently, they're afraid of the animals.
well, I have other expertise, even though I don't use guns.
I beg your pardon?
I don't use guns.
I don't understand. And he pulls his jacket aside, and he's got like two little derringers side by side, one gold, one silver, on his hip in this little sort of double holster.
I have other means. Can I throw a knife at something as a demonstration at something just to kind of impress him?
Sure, give me a knife throw.
Okay, using and a little pizzazz. Could I use perform?
Give me both. Give me the throwing and then the performing, and we'll see how it works.
Give me a second.
Double
Throwing.
the chance to be impressive, double the chance to fail miserably.
Okay, I'm going to use throwing. Why is that? Okay.
Well, the offer, by the way, is $100. It should take us about 3 hours to walk up there. This assay should take about 2 hours, and it should take about 2.5 hours to walk back down. And a performance? Yeah, you, in what you hope is a simple, graceful motion, turn and boom, throw this little shovel-shaped knife. It goes across the room, and it was heading for a post that held up the, that holds up the roof, and it kind of just skips off the edge of it, leaves a little scratch in the wall, and goes off to the side and into the wall, right above where those 2 or 3 hammered drunk people were sitting in the corner. And he looks and he says, and he looks away from you over at Jet. Oh, tomorrow, are you available? $100 for
Sir,
walk up the hill?
I will help you out and I will take your money if that's what you're willing to pay. But my main priority is I want to make sure that little lady that went over to the telegraph office makes it safe and sound back to where she came from.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. The problem is I brought guards with me, but I brought them from New York. And they got out here, and they won't go anywhere that there's trees.
So how are they going to take her back to the...
They're going to walk right up that valley that you guys came down, that rocky valley. They're willing to do that. But they will not go up into that forest. They are convinced that there's wolves or something up there that's going to eat everybody. That's why I hired guns.
Well, well, if you need guns, and I pull out my pistol on the table, I put my shotgun on the table, I put my rifle on the table. I was like, I've got guns, and
all sorts of rugged.
Oh yeah, I still got to go pick up some dynamite before this little venture of ours. But I assure you, sir, I come prepared, and I put it all back.
And you, ma'am, you haven't said much.
I'm presuming I'm also part of this deal because I kind of glance over at Lucius and pull out my gun. I do use these.
Absolutely. There's 3. Would 3? Yeah, I'm sure they'll go with 3. I'm sure they do that. So tomorrow we meet here. Just after
What time?
breakfast. Just after breakfast. We'd like to get a good start. It's like I said, it's about 3 hours up there. It's quite steep, so we'll have to go quite slowly. A couple hours for them to do their little bit of work, as I understand it, and then 2.5 hours back down. It's so much faster coming downhill.
Sure.
Should work.
Wonderful. Well, if you'll excuse me, this dive is making me itch. I'm going back to my room. And he stands up and grabs his little aperitif glass that's got some sort of creamy, dark brown liqueur in it. And he heads up the stairs, leaving you guys sitting in the corner.
That drink doesn't even taste good. He only got that because it's expensive.
Absolutely right. It's pretentious. Yeah.
Sounds like somebody
Hate
else
types
I
like
know.
I come from that life, and I still think he's an asshole.
I serve his type. He's definitely an asshole.
Whew, I'd hate to hear what y'all have to say about me behind my back.
I
Don't
go.
worry, Jet. You're
I
the
don't
type
remember
that we
anybody
don't
waiting
mind
until they were
serving.
behind your back.
Yeah, right.
I go get my. I go get my little knife shovel.
Yep. You get kind of a dirty look from the bartender. Like, what the hell? This is a nice place. I'm flinging knives in my nice place. But he doesn't say anything, but he certainly gives you the stink eye.
Apologies. Perhaps I can give you a performance later, when I get some rest.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
once you get a little better too. You damn near hit that guy.
I give him. I give him a wicked look.
And he returns, yeah, stink eye to stink eye. Yeah.
We'll have to
well,
find a place to stay as well.
There are a couple places in town. There are some rooms here upstairs. There is also the boarding house way down at the end of the street. You find this information from talking to the staff. But way down here at the end of the street, there is a boarding house as well, although it's fairly low. It's for people that don't have much money. And in the corner here is the actual hotel in town. That's called the Paradise Hotel.
Just doesn't, which one's the nicest one? Just
By
inquiring
far and
minds
away-
want to know.
Yeah, the most stylish one is the Paradise Hotel, although it does not live up to. It's just as good as there is.
Yeah, but it's the best here, right?
It's like the only chain hotel in a really little town, where the other two hotels are run by Joe and Sarah.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong choice of name. Joe and
It's
there,
fine.
there.
and it is afternoon, evening.
It is getting to be sort of just about sundown now. You guys, you did the hunt in the morning and then walked all afternoon to get here.
Would you say it's the
Weirdly
graveyard
enough,
hour?
anybody who had horses, they're here. It's really strange. It's weird how that works.
What? Fancy's here?
Where are they?
Anybody who had paid for a horse is they are at the blacksmith, which is up in this area.
Fancy's here.
I don't want to ask because I don't want to put that on you, but how? What?
It's
Did we-
magic. Leave it.
Okay, fair. All right, so
Allison's gonna take that.
You guys all bought horses before I told you not to, so I'm not going to just take that money from you and you never get your horse. So the horses are magically here. Shush.
How much is a horse?
Depends. You buy a real fast horse, it's expensive.
Yeah.
mine came with the.
They're like cars. There's like base model, sports model, family model.
I think it was like 150 or something.
It's quite a bit of money. It's
Um,
3/5 of your starting money if you started with regular loot.
Well, not if you're Atlas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about Alice.
I look at Ellie. It's like, well, since we've gotten a little bit of cash on hand, should we do a little shopping?
Well, I did promise somebody a stick of dynamite, so might as well.
I offer my arm.
Kind of give him a weird look and then just walk that way.
Oh man.
all right.
Trying to make a friend.
I'll see you.
You guys
two
go to the
tomorrow.
store would be the Mercantile, which would be where you'd want to go shopping. Yeah.
And I'm staying at
Stories.
the bar.
Yeah, you're staying in the saloon. Yeah, about this time, back at the dispatch, Laura stands up and she sent it, and within seconds there's a response.
Mm-hmm.
She reads it and says, "Yeah, I have to go. First thing in the morning, I have to go."
Alice says, "I'm sure
I think they're
that
buying my story.
I'm sure that Mr. Honorable Jet will work something out to get you back there safely."
Yeah, and so the two of you head back to the bar. Once you get there, he comes back down the stairs, and he says, "Oh, I guess I'd better introduce my traveling companions." And there are two very well-dressed men with him, bowler hats, dark suits, small ties. They look like security for like a fancy party. They're almost overdressed, but they look like they can handle themselves. But you notice that it's very spiffy. Everything is very spit polished. Even their shoes are nice and shiny. And you can understand why these men did not want to go up into the forest. They're just not suited. But they are. He introduces the two of them and says, "These would be the men escorting your partner back to the railway. I understand that you'll have somehow managed to." And she says, "Yes, there will be horses waiting."
Hmm.
So
Alice is just kind of taking them
they're
in.
going to take her there, and then they're all going to get on whatever transport is available and go back to the city. They're gone.
Oh, they're just leaving.
Yeah, these two guys are not coming back.
Oh.
Or I mean,
Yeah, they were going anyway, and so his offer to have her escorted wasn't really that big.
Our Jet is Jet, and then
I'm still here. They're gone.
So yeah, by the time you walk back in, Jet is sitting in the corner. The gentleman has gone back upstairs again with the two escort gentlemen, and it's just Jet sitting in the corner. The other two are MIA.
Yeah, I guess we just fill Jet in on, like, she sent it. They said that she does have to go there. They're not going to come here. That kind of a thing. And then I'll tell him also that there's going to be a lovely little story in the paper in the morning.
Yeah, we got a
Oh,
lot.
speaking of which, yeah, when he saw the photographs, he is just like gobsmacked. He wants the picture of the train. That is that's getting like, smack my mic.
That's the one I rolled like a 33 or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's getting the whole top half of the paper, the above the fold. The whole thing is that, and then below it says, "Bandits wreck track but fail in robbery due to heroes."
Yeah, I would have requested to, like, Alice wants to write it. She wants to write.
And yeah, he happily allows you the two of you to write it together. He's a stone cold pro. This guy writes newspaper prose like a master.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, make a
I got writing
profession. Yeah, make a writing profession check.
Academia writing.
Academia writing, perfect.
That's an 11.
Yeah, this guy's really, really good. This kind of writing could be in the New York Times or in the Chicago Tribune or anywhere.
Where did you say you came from?
I kind of been all over.
Mm-hmm. You write very well.
Oh, thank you. Lots of practice. You too, and that, I don't know how the hell you got the camera at that angle with this. How long do you wait for the sun to be like that?
Oh, that's just what it was when I set up.
Oh, this other picture? Can I just have a copy of that just for me?
Which one is he asking?
Jet just covered in gook.
Because I took 3. I can't remember what the second one is, though.
I think it was the dead Husker humans, I think.
Maybe.
Outside, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Or the train crash, one of the two.
It was the train crash.
The caboose crash, I think.
Inside, maybe. And then maybe the crew. Did I take one of the crew? I don't know. I can't remember.
Either way, they were the dead bodies. So, but that one in particular, he got a hell of a giggle out of that one.
Yeah. He can have a copy of that one. That's
He's also very impressed. He says, "Y'all, you killed a husker?"
I also kind of go, well, I suppose we did. I didn't have much to do with the killing, to be honest.
I can tell because you ain't got slime all over you.
Yeah, it was the cowboy and the girl that doesn't quite know her worth.
Well, I hope that fella. I hope he cleaned it off because that stinks something fierce if you leave it on.
Oh yeah, he was not very happy. Also, I perfumed him after he threw up after all that. So
You all hares live exciting lives.
Not usually,
Sorry, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I say not usually, but it's definitely starting to look that way.
Well, miss, you find any other pictures, you just you take any other pictures, you just bring them right to me. I love this. We can send them off, them other ones, we can send them off with the rider this afternoon. They'll get to Denver day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Do you want to, I'll tell you what, how about you take the byline for Denver and I'll take the one for Dodge City.
Well, that's fine by me. Just so long as I get credit for my images.
Oh, you're getting credit for the pictures both ways. I just find it works better when you're writing stories if you just claim one of you wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Make a streetwise check for me.
I've actually got that now. It was a 4.
Yep. Yeah. He's given you, he's willing to split the credit with you.
Okay. That's fine.
And then after you guys finish the transaction, you head back to the saloon and find Jet in the corner.
And I'll also write a little note. Since we're sending one to Dodge, I'll write a little note addressed to Miss Kitty. Kind of like, you're never gonna believe all the, that kind of a thing.
Gosh, what you'd never tell anybody else.
Yeah,
you'd actually surprised and amazed at the world, and not just completely jaded by everything that's happening around you.
The only one that knows Alice. But yeah.
Yeah, so that all gets wrapped up. He does multiple copies of the pictures and puts them in tubes, and he just slides that note in the tube that's going to Denver, and off go a couple of his, in the morning. He says, I'm not sending them out at night, but in the morning he'll send them off by horseback, and they'll get to those two cities fairly by the end of tomorrow, sort of thing. To make this simple, it's late, so the stores aren't open, but they're open first thing the next morning. So anything you guys want from the store, just let me know what it is, and we will price it out for you. And
I assume I would have asked Jet when I was back with him what they've worked out as far as the wanting to go with this guy and all that stuff.
And yeah, I would have told her, I would have been like, well, it looks like we got work in the morning. I assume you're not coming because a lady of your status generally doesn't do gun work from what I've seen. But we're guarding this gentleman as he and his workers go up the mountain, and they think there's some kind of trouble up there, so you may want to bring your camera if you want to come along, but that's completely up to you.
Darling, I take my camera everywhere. And first of all, while I may not do gun work, you can be damn sure that if there is something that is going on up on that mountain, I'm going to find out what it is.
Fair enough. And I'm actually, he's so big.
He's so big.
I just realized I had a picture. So yeah.
I'm actually
sharp of eye. Yes, that is exactly who you think it is. Anybody know? For a white chip, first person to tell me who that is.
I don't know.
Is he a pianist?
Oh, too late. Oscar
Alistair.
Wilde.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know who that is. With that, though, I would have stood up and told her, you may need to find a place to stay tonight. I heard there's a couple hotels in town, but I got to head over to the marshal's office and figure out what exactly is going on around here.
Well, and I'll tell him the story that the newspaper guy told me too.
Oh, about the ghost deal?
About the tracks and the ghost deal, and apparently
Folly. Yeah.
does some. And I mean, I'll walk with him, but like I'll tell him like as we're going, like basically what I was told.
There is one other real thing of notice in this town. Off to the east-hand side, it's kind of right on the edge of the map. There's what basically amounts to a tent city. This is the poorest of the poor, the miners that came out here and didn't find ghost rock and simply can't afford to live in town. So that is sort of off to the right-hand side of the map there, that area 14.
Let's see.
Just because I didn't describe it when you guys came into town.
Okay, yeah. Well, Alice isn't, on the way to. I was looking to where the marshal's office is.
No interest to her anyway.
Yeah, we don't have to get close to that. It's fine.
Which I would have asked on our way out, and I assume they would have just told us where it is.
Yep.
So, I'm just.
So, what were you guys going to shop for? You wanted a stick of dynamite?
Yeah.
And I'm betting that Sky can tell us exactly how much a stick of dynamite is in Deadlands.
It's
$2.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
$2.
Yeah.
Cheap as hell.
We've been waiting for that since he blew up the bad guys in the first scene. And Lucius, what were you looking for?
Possibly a horse and a wagon.
Okay.
Might not get that at a store, but yeah.
You would have to go to the livery for that, for sure. You can. They do not rent anything here because people have a bad habit of not coming back. So the horse would be horse is $100 and a cart is another $100.
Horse. Oh, okay. So it's $200 basically.
Yep, for a horse and cart. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't feel like doing a shopping episode, so we're going to abstract this part.
Okay.
I'll get just a horse.
Okay, that's 100.
And I got 2 sticks of dynamite for Jet.
One for
I will also get a.
Ah.
I will also get a horse and cart. But do they have a very pale-looking horse?
Seriously?
Give me an extra $25 and you can have a pale horse.
Of death.
God.
Oh,
Well, the
man.
stock paint color is sort of a dark gray, but I can order one from the factory. You want ivory, eggshell?
I don't like any of
I just, I need something, a good sturdy,
Well,
pale-looking
That's right, it's a
horse.
pale horse. We all know what you're going for. We got the reference. So yes, you find a pale horse and an equally pale cart. Ellie, you find you want a whiskey colored horse?
I'll take whatever colored horse they have. I'm not picky.
So,
I don't
yes,
have the money to be picky.
Yeah, 100 gold and gets you guys a nice horse each, an extra 100 for the cart. This is the next morning. You guys slept through the night with one small exception, because there's always one small exception when we say slept through the night.
Kept forgetting about that.
Yeah, so 3 of you make your way to your rooms. It's cheap for you guys. It's only $2 a night to get your own room in this hotel. So you each get your own. I'm assuming you hardly know each other. You don't want to share rooms.
Well, I was going to ask the marshal, but if he's already
Okay,
done
no,
for
you
the
want to?
night,
Yeah, we'll have the marshal chat first. Yeah, what did you want to know?
I just wanted to step in there and just let him know what's happening. Just be like, introduce myself, say, hey, I'm Jet. I'm from Prescott, Arizona. And I kind of flashed the badge. I was like, it ain't much, but, I'm just doing the good work out here. We got a group of about, how many was it? Like 20 people?
Yeah, about a dozen altogether.
I'd say we got about a dozen folks that had a real bad train wreck. I reckon you'll be hearing about it in the paper tomorrow. But
Already did.
Yes, sir. And we're just wanted to let you know what's happening. And you know, as a man of the law, you don't have anywhere I could lay my head for the night, just passing through.
Marshall McIntosh, by the way. You're
I'm Jet.
Jet Deputy Jet.
I don't kinda. It's a real weird story.
Does it say Prescott on the badge?
I think it's just a plain badge.
Okay. So he
It's
doesn't-
just a plain star, and I told him when I came in I'm from Prescott. I was offered the position, but I had a higher calling chasing down. You ever heard of? Oh God, I should remember that. That's in my backstory. It was such a ridiculous name too. I remember thinking it when I said it. It's my sworn enemy. Oof.
Oh no.
I know, right?
I want to remember that.
His name.
I've got a nemesis, and his name is.
It's something or other.
I wrote it in my underwear. His name is Calvin Klein. That's it. I hate Calvin.
Why is my backstory so long?
Right?
Feel that.
Close to 60. He's got that tough look, like a 60-year-old cowboy. He has survived everything. He's got a little bit of a limp. His badge is absolutely stamped tin. There is nothing ostentatious or fancy about it, and it just says Marshall across the tin star.
Mm-hmm.
It's all beat up, and one of the corners is bent, and he's all grizzled and got a couple days' growth of hair. He wears a black hat and a black shirt.
Okay, and I tell him, I'm like, you ever heard of Blaine Suggins?
Can't say as I have.
Real nasty feller. Tried to come into Prescott and rough up the whole town. We lost our sheriff in the process. He handed this off as he went, but I just didn't feel right staying around with that man still on the loose. So I'm just out trying to hunt him down.
Sounds like a piece of work.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to help, but I got my own shit going on here. You
Yes.
ever seen that bear stir a hornet's nest?
I've seen something like that a time or two.
You ever been standing right in front of it when it happened?
My daddy taught me better than that.
Yeah, well, your daddy didn't teach no one in this town nothing.
Oh, well, do you care to explain? Is this something to do with that railroad I keep hearing about? With that fancy fella?
Well, you can blame the ghost rock if you want. I don't know the new fella, the cousin or nephew or whatever the hell he is. Another in a long line of madmen, as far as I'm concerned. When you were in Prescott, you have any deputies that were useless?
We had a few men in town that you couldn't get to do nothing. You poke them with a stick.
Well, I got one of them for a deputy. You know the kind of feller that's got less IQ than a snake's got legs?
Yeah, we brought a couple of them with us.
Oh, lovely. Ain't that nice? But you asked if you could have somewhere to sleep tonight. I tell you what, there's a couple drunks in that cell, but that one's empty.
Thank you, sir.
I won't lock you in.
I appreciate it.
And I'll draw a picture so my dumbass deputy don't lock you in the morning either.
Maybe the badge will go a long way, too.
There's no nice way to put this. If you ain't female, he ain't looking. And if you're female, all he's doing is looking. The boy's a pig.
All right. I don't know. You must be short-handed around here.
Short-handed, short-legged, short-armed. Son, I'm up to my asshole in alligators, and I'm out of bullets.
Well, consider these guns on your side, sir. As long as I'm in this town, other than the job I agreed to tomorrow morning, I'll happily help you with whatever I can.
What job you agreed to? Oh, Jesus, don't tell me if it's illegal, but what did you agree to?
I reckon it ain't illegal, sir. I'm just helping that fine dandy fella get up the mountain with his people and try to assess the land or whatever the hell he's doing.
Oh, you're going up to Milton's mine.
Yes, sir.
Don't stay too long.
I know better than that, sir.
Well, the cell's right there. I think them blankets got washed last week.
I got a bedroll. I'll be okay.
I figured you look all competent. I'll tell you what, I can't get rid of my deputy on account of who he's related to. But I got a little budget left. Can I call you when I need help?
Anybody can call me when they need help, sir, so certainly.
Huh. Well, in that case, let's do this. And he reaches down and pulls open a drawer and pulls out another tin star slightly smaller than his. And it says deputy on it. He just chucks it to you.
I guess I'm starting a collection now.
Maybe only put that one on when you're on official duty.
Yes, sir, of course.
But that other one might help keep you out of trouble in the bars. Some
Yes,
folks are smart enough not to attack the law.
Some folks. And I was like, well, thank you, Marshal. I appreciate it. And I tipped my hat. And
You be careful up in them hills, boy. The wolves ain't the dangerous shit in this town. The dangerous shit in this town walks on two legs.
I'll keep that in mind.
Can I hire you for tonight? Keep an eye on them drunk folks in there. Y'all can sleep all you want in there. In fact, there's a cot in the back if you want. If you don't want to sleep in a cell.
Yeah, as long as I can catch a few hours sleep, I do not mind watching these folks for you.
I wasn't expecting to get home tonight, but maybe I'd go see. Yeah, maybe I'll go home and spend some time with the missus. That'd be damn nice.
You do that, sir.
And he shakes your hand again and he says, yeah, right around the back there's an office and there's a cot in the back.
Thank
He
you.
heads out the door and he stops halfway at the door and he turns around and he says, what the hell is it about you, son? Why do I trust you?
I don't know, sir. I just try to do right. That's all.
Maybe you smell right or something. Anyway, I'm going home. And he kind of out the door with a slightly confused look on his face, like, what the hell? Why did I just trust my job to this guy I just met?
I'm just that kind of guy.
Exhausted. Like, he's almost as tired as you are, but you get the feeling it's not bad dreams that are keeping him awake. It's bad things that are happening during the day that are keeping him.
Fun.
The rest of you go to sleep this night. And Jet, you curl up and think, yeah, maybe I'm tired. I walked all day. Maybe. And you drift off. There's sort of almost like a fear now. You're falling asleep and part of you's just waiting and waiting. And you drift off and you wake up in the morning, fully rested. Sun shining through the window of your room in the hotel. You walk down the stairs in a daze, not even thinking to see the others around you. You walk into the dining hall, up to the person behind the counter, and you hear your voice say, breakfast? And the person behind the counter turns around, and their eyes are 1,000 wiggling black worms each. You hear as they turn around. From the waist down, they're a spider. The head tilts to the side, the mouth opens up, and a splotch of green just as it hits your face, gone. That dream logic. You're in the middle of a field. There's no lights for miles but the full moon. The prairie grass is up to your waist, and it's just rocking back and forth in the slightest breeze. It's the most peaceful thing you've ever felt. You hear the birds in the background, the night animals. You hear a little scurrying in the grass. And then just out of the top of your eye, you see something falling towards you slowly. You look up and it looks like, at first, like a leaf. You know how they kind of spiral as they fall? There's a black shape, rectangular, falling out of the sky. You look and there's another and another and another, and they start to fall around you to the ground. And as they hit, it's like they have incredible weight, and each one of them crushes the grass around you as it hits. Just this huge cacophony of sound. The ground rattles under your feet. And you look down and you're looking at the back of, they're still falling more and more. They're piling up. Each one an oversized card. You see the backs of most of them as they fall past you, solid black. But some of them spin around as they pass your face, and you see in a simple white line drawings the tower, the Empress, the tower, the Empress. You hear the old gypsy's words, death, change. And then it stops. And you hear above you in the silence, one last card in front of you lands face down on the ground in front of you. And you can't even help yourself. Your hand reaches forward and touches that card and starts to turn it over. And you hear your brother's voice when he was 4 and you tried to take away one of his toys and he went, no! The card slams out of your hand and back on the ground. You wake up laying in the cot in the back of the sheriff's office. Still pitch black outside. You take a quick glance out the windows, and from the stars, you can tell it's at least 3 hours till dawn. And you can still hear. The rest of the night, you sit there, and every once in a while, you see just out of the corner of your eye, just something you look and it's gone. You just about drop off to sleep, and you hear, no! Pop back awake. And that's how you spend the rest of that night.
Who the hell is Jet?
In the morning, you hear a conversation outside. This is still Jet. You hear a conversation outside, a fairly high-pitched voice. It's male, but fairly high-pitched, and it sounds put out, like insulted. And you hear the sheriff's voice lower and stronger. And then the door opens up and the sheriff starts to step in the door, and he turns over his shoulder. He says, damn it, I told you. If you spent half the time chasing crime as you spent chasing skirt, there wouldn't be any damn crime left in this town. Go do your job. And he slams the door behind him. Looks at you and he says, you look like shit.
I don't feel much better, sir. I'm just
I should
shaking
have told
off.
you that cot ain't very comfortable.
Yeah, well, you know, it's better than nothing, and I appreciate it. And I assume that if I woke up, I would have poked my head out even in my stupor to go check to see if the guys were in the cell, because it was still a job I had to do.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. They are very much still there
Okay.
and still in the cell. He looks at you again and looks at them and looks at you and he says, you told me you seen some shit. You can't stop seeing it, can you?
I just look down. I'm kind of sitting, you know how you have, like, you're leaned over and you got your hands in over your lap. And it's just like, to be frank with you, sir, I don't remember the last time I didn't see shit.
And he doesn't say a word. He just reaches down and pulls open the bottom drawer of his desk and pulls out about half a bottle of cheap whiskey and just plunks it on the table in front of you and pushes the door closed with his foot. He says, it ain't noon yet, son, but I won't judge you.
And I look at it and I just have a flash and I'm like, you know, and I pull out of my pack. I pull out my coffee and my little tin cooking thing, and I'm just like, I think I'll take this. Not to insult. I just I don't like to drink when I've had problems like this. My daddy did, and I don't think he ever came out of that bottle.
Sorry, son. I didn't know.
It's all
Got a
right.
son like that. And he puts it back in the bottom drawer, shoves it shut. It's only then that you notice as he puts it back in, there was dust on that bottle. It had been in there forever.
And I reassure him. I'm like, on another occasion, I'll have a drink happily. I'd smoke myself. I just not after stuff like that. I'd be drinking every night, you know.
Yeah, yeah, every night. Yeah, 5 years of my life, son. Okay, so there's some people with you, right?
Yeah, and I get up and start putting my stuff away, and whatever, drink my coffee if I made it real quick. And I'm like, they're somewhere around here. They're supposed to be meeting me at the railway station, saloon, whatever that.
They're at the hotel, son.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I gotta go find them there. Get this job done, and then I can report back to you.
All right, son. You watch yourself and try and get some rest.
Yes, sir. Of course.
You head out, and the rest of you meet. The other two have done your shopping now because it was the morning. Alice, anything you wanted to do in the morning?
I assumed that she would have gotten some chemical, like photo supplies from him last night. She will. I don't know if she knows her horse is here. I don't know what she would like.
Yeah.
Then she'll
don't overthink this.
She'll go check. She'll go check on Fancy. Who, if any of you have seen the horse, is a big, sturdy. It's not a quarter horse like most of the horses around here are. I imagine this is a saddlebred breed horse. Giant. It's a golden palomino. Stands like 15 hands high. She's the most beautiful mare you've ever seen. But she'll go check on Fancy.
Here knows what they're doing. She is buffed to a high polish. You notice actually all of the horses are incredibly well taken care of. They haven't looked this good since possibly before you bought them.
Wow.
Whoever runs this stable does a hell of a good job.
So she'll
are all here.
Just go check on that, and then she's actually gonna kind of before everybody wakes up, she's gonna buy a copy of the paper, or I assume she gets a free copy because
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you just go and pick it up. He's just coming out the door with the first stack.
Yeah.
You realize he's also the delivery boy.
Oh,
he drops them in this cart and starts walking up the street throwing them at doors.
Yeah. So she'll take a copy, and then she's actually gonna go and buy about 10 sticks of dynamite.
Okay, yeah, $20, 10 sticks of dynamite.
I didn't even want.
When that explodes, that's 200 d6 damage. And the sixes explode.
Ooh.
It's going to end the world when that goes off.
No.
But yeah, pop that on your sheet. Absolutely, you get a strange look, but this is a mining community. 10 sticks of dynamite is not completely out of the ordinary.
I am
It's probably never been bought by a lady in quite the expensive dress that you're wearing before, but
I'm walking nowhere near Alice.
I am perfectly trustworthy with 2 sticks of dynamite, but that woman's crazy.
She didn't tell anybody.
I'll allow a lot of things on my cart, but that might be an exception. I might not allow that.
If we
Well, the problem with this horse and cart idea is that this hill is too steep. You're going to have to walk. It would be very uncomfortable for your horses to go up this. And as soon as he says that to you, as soon as Alan, if you'd ever asked his name, says this to you, you'd look up and it's too steep for a train. Like there's no way a train was ever going to go up or down this.
Yeah. crazy man. What did he say his name was?
His name is Alan Campbell. His uncle, the one who owned the mine, is Milton, and it's known as Milton's Folly. And he tells you that my uncle built all of this, and then the damned fool ran out of money before he could start the mine.
Well, that might be because he put all of his ghost rock into making train tracks that weren't gonna ever do anything.
You don't have to tell me. First thing I asked was, can you get the ghost rock out of the tracks? And no, you can't. It's all wasted.
Can you melt down the tracks and do something with the metal?
You can reuse the ghost steel over and over, but once you've amalgamated that ghost rock in there instead of the carbon, no, there's no way to get it out.
Would I know this?
Sorry?
Would I know this?
It's true, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't. It's very difficult to get the carbon out of steel once you've made the steel, and this is basically just replacing the carbon with the ghost rock.
I just meant repurposing the ghost steel for something else.
That we could do. What were you thinking?
Nothing in particular, but I'd happily take my share. Instead of in cash, I'd take it in ghost steel happily.
Well, there's 8 or 9 rails at the end of the tracks. Be welcome to those. I can't imagine having any use for those.
I actually would like some myself, if you don't mind.
I assume
There's
we'll
hundreds
split
of pounds of
Yeah.
it. Like 9 sections of rail at the bottom of the track.
Alice is convinced that Ghost Rock is poison, so she's not interested.
And in a very real sense, it is. I mean, the story is that if you spend too long near it, the fumes will make you crazy. So
Yeah.
Get
She's,
some
The
ghost
magic about it.
weapons.
That's just a toxin.
she doesn't want it. But she will kind of like, she'll throw the newspaper down and be like, look at this beautiful picture.
And yeah, there you guys see the picture now that she was fiddling with the other day. And as you're flipping through as you lay out the front page, Alice, you kind of flip the newspaper and hold it up in front of you to show them the picture.
Mhm.
On the back page, there's a picture of Jet covered in slime, and it just says "yuck" across underneath it.
Yes.
And it's right next to the cartoons and comic strip.
Yes. I'll be like, I'll say, Jet, you're famous. I'll show it.
I'm gonna read the article. That's gonna completely determine how I feel about this.
It's not an article. It's like a disgusting version of the page 3 girl. Right? It's just this picture of you, and it just says "yuck" across the bottom, and you're standing there just
Yeah. There's an article with the picture on the front. Just
on the
not-
front. Yeah.
Yeah,
about-
but
Oh, that okay, yeah. I mean, Alice knows it because she helped write it.
Yeah.
He insisted the way that this story runs. I'm not going to make up paragraphs and paragraphs for you.
Yeah.
What it boils down to is that there was an attempted train robbery. The robbers blew up the tracks just like they always do. They attacked the train just like they always do, but this time was different. This time there were real heroes on board, and they fought off the bad guys and chased them away, hopefully never to return.
well, at least they got one thing right.
There was a train crash. Yeah.
It did crash.
I look at the photo. I don't look too bad in it.
Yeah, you're in the back. The Charlie's Angels thing going on in the back.
Of course.
It's an 80s reference for somebody that wasn't nowhere near alive in the 80s. Never mind.
It's okay.
I
I know what you're. I'm
Am I
picking up
am
what
I
you're
the
putting
phone
down.
article?
Even Colbert is using it now for The Squad. It's the same picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're in the background with that, and he's all covered in slime, and there's just like the big body just sliding down his chest as she took the picture. So yeah. But yeah, the picture on the front is world class. It's like Pulitzer Prize winning photo. And with that,
Lovely photo there, Miss Alice.
and yes, there's a big photo credit at the bottom. It says photo by Alice O'Hare.
Mm-hmm. I
And
wonder if
here, In this newspaper, you've both got credit. There's the byline written by is actually your name first and then his.
I will say that I don't. None of them before this, I think, would have known my last name.
Probably not. No, you've never mentioned
So
it.
I don't know if any of them would recognize it. I don't know where they're from, but
The only one that might recognize it would be Jet. Give me a home county. Yeah, let's do that. Home county. That's
With
under
that-
knowledge.
All right, let's.
because
try.
if he knew, he would say, like, he would probably say something like when he figured it out. That's why I'm bringing it up.
You recognize the name. Somebody in Texas. There's a very famous Texas family of O'Hares. You're not sure what they do, but they're a big deal. And if she's part of that, then maybe this attitude makes a little more sense.
It's not attitude.
It's
It's
like
birth.
finding out you're traveling with a Kennedy.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So,
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's an important detail. Like if they know who.
Yep. So yes, you would know that. The other two, they're not nationally famous, but they're certainly famous enough to have been known in that area, in the South for sure.
Definitely.
So Alan Campbell comes downstairs in a completely different but equally special suit. This one actually looks like it's been built to be his exploring suit. It's got like little patches on the elbows, and he's got knee-high boots on today with sort of gaiters on them to protect from the scratches and things like that. He's got his adventuring gear on, but he's still the only person in the room that is not outdressed by him is Alice, and it's close.
Wow.
And you look at him and you think for a second, Alice, he probably spent more time on his hair this morning than you did.
Yeah, Alice, she won't show it. Of
It's
course.
pomaded and curled, and
She won't show it, of course, but she's a little impressed.
and his walking stick today is a dark brown that goes with his dark suit. And on the top, there's just a large, it's obviously fake, but it looks like a diamond about the size of your fist on the top of it. And that's his walking stick that he's using today.
Mm-hmm.
Says, the miners will meet us outside.
All right.
Alice is
I
impressed.
don't want to walk very close to them, if you don't mind.
Did he say don't walk very close to me?
He said he's not going to walk very close to them, yes. And you kind of look out the window, and there's two scruffy, beat-up, old-looking, grizzled miners, right? Missing a bunch of teeth and pickaxes over their shoulder in their little bags.
I give him a
Game of
pointed
Western
look.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
I give Alan a pointed look and then go up to the miners and introduce myself.
I'm right there with her.
Alice is with Alan, so.
I love it. Because they're going to know what's up.
Hi.
Hi, are you the miners that we're supposed to be escorting?
Yeah, we're the dumb sons of bitches that took $20 to go all the way up there to that crazy place and dig a hole.
Well, at least you're not the dumb sons of bitches that look like they should be going to a club instead of up a mountain.
Yeah, there's that, ain't there? At least I ain't gonna die looking stupid and posh.
I'm Ellie. What's your guys' names?
I'm Ted. This here's Billy.
The pleasure's all mine.
Well, you think this fella's gonna pay us for real?
Oh, I'm sure he will. We'll make sure of it, won't we, Jet?
Naturally.
And he looks over at his buddy and says, "We sleeping with a roof over our heads tonight. No more tent for us."
Well, Mr. Campbell, are you going?
Keep us alive, right?
Yes, sir. And I pull out my shotgun and cock it.
He's intense, isn't he? He says that to Ellie.
Well, intense is good when it comes to dealing with wolves.
Yeah, I want it on my side for sure. Well, we know that highfalutin fella ain't gonna talk to us, so I guess we'll start and they can follow on.
After you.
And they pickaxe over the pickaxe. That's a totally different.
I was
Axe
gonna
over
laugh.
their shoulder.
They do both.
Yeah, pick your ass over your shoulder. Your arm's not long. Pick axes on shoulders, and up the hill they start to go, and you guys make your way up there. It's like he said, it's 3 hours. It's a long, slow drag haul up there, especially for some of you that are not quite so fleet of foot. Although going up steep hills in heels, you just kind of walk on the toes.
Mhm.
I've seen it done.
Yep.
But you guys managed to get all the way up there to where this area is. You're following the trail and following the steepening and steepening and steepening a rail line, and you're starting to approach a little ridge, and you can't quite see the end of the line. You know it's just over this ridge where it flattens out. And as you come over that ridge, hang on a second, I gotta look at something here. Let's do this. You guys come over this ridge, and you
Oh,
see
it's a map with tokens.
what you
boy.
see is the end of the line, quite literally. I mean, you made the joke about it last night. There's the end of the line saloon down in the bottom, and this is the end of the line up here. The rails come along, and at the end, there's 2 ties just crossed like that. Usually that would be there to keep anything from rolling off the end, although how anything's going to roll off the end of something this steep makes no sense. But that's not what it's being used for right now. Right now, there is a body tied, arms and legs, on the X. Throat cut, blood all down the front, and a significant amount of the meat missing. Bite marks, claw marks on the ground.
Rifle's coming out.
Shovels at the ready.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's leave that.
shotgun's been out.
Yep. I'm
Oh,
assuming you guys were, like over the shoulder doing the watching thing all the way up. He has clearly been partially eaten.
Can we tell how long he's been here?
As you approach to get close enough to start to make those calls, give me a guts roll.
Oh, Lord.
Where is my sheet? There it is.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Jet. This is nasty, but there's a moment of shock for you when you realize you've seen something like this before. The throat isn't just cut. It's what in our world we call a Colombian necktie. Somebody has cut the throat, reached in and grabbed the tongue and pulled it out of that slit. So it's hanging here. There's also around the mouth, there's burn marks, like blisters, and inside the mouth is open, and inside the mouth there's a bit of sort of whitish gray rock that seems to be smoking slightly.
What a
Lucius,
savage
give me
world.
a medicine check, please.
Medicine check? For
Yep.
sure.
I hope that's not Milton.
Medicine. Okay. You recover from the initial shock, and it's, okay, this is freaky, but it is just a body, and I know bodies, so you kind of choke back I mean, let's face it, it's disgust. Somebody has done what you figured out from this medicine roll is that you're even more disgusted because they weren't dead when you put up here. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yay.
They were alive when they were tied to this X. They had their throat cut, and this stone was put in their mouth, and it's been burning in their mouth since at least yesterday. Bite marks from the wolves, they're clearly wolf marks. If you had to time them, you'd say they probably happened last night. So after whoever left them here was gone. The wolves have been chewing at the butt.
That's absolutely revolting.
I got
The
a 3.
prospectors
Did I
are
puke?
just like, oh shit. And they sort of back off a little bit and sort of move towards the tree line, just getting away from you. From it.
Ellie wanted to know if she puked.
Yeah.
What did you guys?
Got a 3.
Yeah, everybody that rolled less than a 7, go ahead and roll me 1d6. None of you failed real bad.
You keep one.
Yeah, you keep 1d6. It doesn't matter because it's only one dice.
If 7 or lower, you said?
Yeah.
I think I'm fine.
And I love you guys. Nobody has ever asked, did my character puke before? For which you rolled a 1. So yes, you did. Yay!
Did I puke? I don't think.
You see the tongue hanging out in this like, no, that's too much.
I don't see bodies very often.
Yeah. You're used to dead
I'm
drunk,
used
but
to-
not
yeah,
dead
I'm
and
used to
mutilated.
gross drunk people, not mutilated bodies.
Yeah, I mean, probably the worst thing you'd seen at work would be somebody maybe choked on their own vomit or something. You know, you've seen bodies, but not mutilated ones like this. So
No.
So Ellie puked.
Yeah, no, I like go over to the rock and just everything I ate this morning came out.
just, yeah, absolutely.
Did Alice puke?
You choked it back, so to
Okay.
speak. You know, it comes up to here, and you kind of, I'm a lady. This isn't happening. It's not public.
It's like,
And then you
Like,
got
ooh.
this, and then you hear from around the corner. You look, and Ellie's just losing her lunch. You carry a purse?
puking would absolutely be below my station.
Yeah. Do you carry a purse?
Yeah.
You just threw up in your purse.
Nope.
At least nobody saw. You kind of turn away and
Look, as long as nobody saw, it's fine.
I'm busy looking at rocks. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're getting that thing where you're like, it's so bad that your vision starts to come down and then back out every time, and it's
Do I have
not good.
something in my kit to help Ellie? Or
She just needs to be not looking.
okay,
Yeah, it just needs a minute. Whew.
there's been worse things.
And I turn around to Mr. Alan Dandy, as I'm going to call him, and I'm just like, did you know about this?
And he is like,
I'm going to take that as a no.
he turns around and heads for the trees.
Oh gosh. Okay.
The two prospectors who are now like, they're just getting out of sight. They just don't want to see this. They've stepped into the trees, and you hear one of them say, "This goddamn trail over here." And the other one looks and goes over, and the two of them start buggering off up this little trail that you see leading off the side.
Wherever that is, it's away from this thing that made Alice be unladylike. So she
Yep.
is absolutely going wherever they are.
So you follow them.
Oh, yeah. They know what's going on.
So everybody's going with them?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I need a minute. I'll follow in a second.
Yeah, you see,
Take
everybody's
a sip
ahead of
of
you.
My
you
water
kind
and
of
just
you need
rest
to-
for a minute.
Yeah,
Alice is pretending like nothing
rinse your
happened.
mouth and-
So.
Give her a quick, pat on the back and hand her my canteen. The trade-off is official.
There you go. Alice, you have a drink, but you realize you can't spit it out without giving away the deal, so you have to swallow it.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you just got the
Mm-hmm.
price of being a lady.
Mm-hmm. It's a high price to pay.
And you realize that you have mints, but they're in your purse.
Yeah.
Don't
Everything.
want those anymore.
Well, not everything. But
Oh, that ain't coming out either.
like the mints and the perfume were in there, so I'm gonna definitely have to buy some more of that whenever I get back.
So, you guys make your way up this little trail behind the two prospectors. You hear behind you, just sitting just on the edge of the forest. He's kind of trapped between not wanting to look at the body and not wanting to go into the big scary forest. Alan is just sitting there going, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear," and just sort of rocking back and forth a little bit. He looks like he is well out of his depth.
You
Hey,
and me
Take
both,
that last
brother.
couple steps.
Hey, buddy, your hired guns are going this way. So,
And right up behind you, like almost bumps into the back of you.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And he's just holding his cane, and it's just shaking, and this big fake diamond, there's sunlight just sparkling off of it everywhere because he's just vibrating with it.
Miss Alice, he's one of your people. Can't you fix him? And I just head on.
And you step the group of you step into this little clear. I mean, it's not even really a clearing. Somebody's just cleared some of the rock and whatnot that was leaning against this cliff face, and you see that they've chopped a little sort of triangular hole in the wall. It's maybe sort of that big by that big. It's just a shape like that, and you can see it goes in about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. Make scrutinize checks for me.
Ooh.
All of us?
I know what I'm spending my points on as soon as this is over. -4. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you found nothing. Yep. Allison,
What a nice triangle.
and, I just need a scrutinizing from Lucius.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just as confused.
He's like, what's a triangle?
Lucius,
I actually
you
put points into this too. What the hell?
you kind of turned and looked at Alan, and you noticed it's an absolutely stunning gold and silver watch chain that goes from this side of his waistcoat across into a pocket on this side of his waistcoat. You've never seen anything like it. The fine detail work on this chain. It's twisted figure eights. I sold jewelry. I forget what this damn is called, this style, but it's the pattern spirals, but it's
Right.
they're all figure eights
Yeah, I know what
together,
you're talking about.
alternating gold and silver. You notice that. It's impressive. Ellie, you just had, when you kind of forgot you threw up and you burp and you get that, oh yeah, that one, that's you. So you're not paying attention either.
Cool.
Alice and yeah, really, you guys don't see much. One of the prospectors says, this here's the end of a ghost rock vein. It ain't very big, but somebody was digging here to see if there was ghost rock. And Alice, you look down and around at the moment, and you see on the rocks just below it, there's a flat surface, like somebody has chipped a piece of rock until it was flat. And on that, there's a shape in dark brown, and it's flaking. You know what that means. It's dried blood. And it kind of looks like a Y, except like that. So instead of just going up and out like that, it goes up and
Curves.
wraps around in blood on the rocks.
Is it kind of like something's been drawn?
Absolutely. Somebody has used their finger to very carefully draw this shape. And one of the prospectors looks down and says, oh shit, Baphomet.
Would-
Say what now?
Oh.
No.
And that's where we will end tonight. Baphomet is a devil.
Oh, is that the? Oh, I need to
no.
know.
That's the okay. I know, but should I say nothing? I don't know.
I want to know.
We
We will start the next session with a roll to see what you guys know about Baphomet.
I don't know nothing about Baphomet, no devils personally. I don't take kindly to those folks. Don't travel them circles. Anywho, thanks y'all for joining us tonight. Don't forget to give us that follow if you ain't done that yet. And I just want to give a big old thank you to our new subscriber, Marthos Vadu. Marthos Vadu. Oh, I don't know how to say that, but hey, good time to remind y'all if you ain't used that Twitch Prime subscription yet, well, you might just want to use it here. Don't go nowhere. We're going to have a raid after these last words from the Marshal.
Oh, thank you so much. We are, for everybody who needs to know, we are raising money to attempt to get our wonderful host for the evening some literacy lessons. We're hoping that comes up soon, and so maybe some elucidation. Maybe he'll take some of those lessons from Alice.
She ain't gonna get through to that. There's no way.
let's just do this real quick. I'm just gonna, you guys all have your own stuff that you do, and people can go to our website, our Discord channel, our all
Links-
kinds of places to
links
find
below.
us. There's links down below here. Follow those, and you can see all the great stuff these guys are creating. I am going to specifically plug 2 other shows: our Sunday and Monday 2 mini Warlock shows, a traditional D&D campaign set in a very original world run by a very original DM, our very own Puck Lord of Chaos. Show up for those 2. And if you need to catch up, all those videos are here on Twitch and also on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for that subscription. That is a major commitment, and we appreciate that. Just right there where it counts. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you to all my players, and we'll shoot you next week.
Did the best that he e'er could to keep the forest safe and well. Nasty monsters he did quell. When Fred was young he learned the trade of forest animal first aid. He loved the woods, he loved his work. Most of all he hated orcs. He hated orcs with passion fierce, and sought them ere their hearts to pierce. Throats to choke and legs to break, he liked to drown them in the lake. Rangers love the woods so green, but keep their swords and axes keen.